Yeah, I know the G15. It's right on the other side of the wall on the where the camera's sitting though. Like the camera's pretty much flush up against the Centurion right now, and the G15's on the other side of that wall. that wall.
We need a full. We need a full-scale pin-up poster.
Well, it'll be in here. It'll be in here soon enough. I fly out on Monday. I leave here at 4 a.m. To get to the airport, and we go to Maryland land on Monday. Work all day Tuesday to bring the G15 up there. Fly back here on Wednesday, then film with this new G15 here on Thursday, Friday. Hopefully I can get it into the room. I don't know. I've got some caster stuff to try and figure out. So we'll see what I can stumble across. And then if I can get it in the room, that would be excellent, because then I could push it back in the corner. I do need to remove all the lower panels off of it. It's missing both the side panels and the front panel, but it's got the corner panels, but they're all like bent and beat up and twisted. So I need to pull those off anyway, so I can get to all the gubbins behind them. And then I can start, once the machine rolls, I can roll it in here and I can start the cleanup process on it. Things kind of dirty.
Won't leave a lot of time for midweek stream again.
Oh, the midweek stream is happening on Wednesday. I'm on an airplane on Wednesday, so the midweek stream's not going to happen next week. I missed it this week because I was still filming this episode at midnight last night.
I mean, you were hands deep in a Lambda supply.
Yeah, that Lambda supply is just hot garbage. That's not a very good 5-volt supply. I've got a well, it depends on which Lambda supply you're talking about. The plus 15, minus 15 volt. Ooh, I don't know if you saw that update. The plus 15, minus 15 supply is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Instead, before we pull this thing out, where did I put that? Instead, we had a short on the ADC card. Put it over there, I think. And most notably, there was one bad IC, and this is the IC. Like, it's even got pins like a little IC. It's it's an Analog Solutions ZAD2736 16-bit sampling analog to digital converter. This thing, so we had multiple problems. We had on the plus 15 volt rail, we had a shorted tantalum to ground that was at 2 ohms. And then this thing has an internal fault between the negative 15 volt rail and ground that initially measured at 30 ohms, but after I ran it for a little bit, it burned its way down to about 7 ohms. So this has completely failed. It's socketed, so that's why I was able to remove it pretty easily. But yeah, I need a new one of these. There's like nothing I can do about it. I'm gonna ask Mike if, I don't know, like, because the machine's on loan from Mike. So I need to ask Mike what he wants to do with this. Because if he's like, just throw it away, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife and try to cut the top off here and see if we can see the inside of it. But that will, I mean, it's already bad, but that will absolutely destroy it in the process. But I really want to see what's on the inside of this. It's got 2 potentiometers here on the front. So it's an integrated circuit that has potentiometers built into it, which is kind of weird.
I'm sure it's really a multi-chip module. It's got comparators, AD converters, and other things inside it. Yeah.
And so if you could slice it open,
is it solder?
Yeah, it's a solder seal. So if you could slice it open and get to it, you might be able to find the specific integrated circuit in there that's bad and replace just that, as opposed to having to replace the whole box.
If it's not potted.
Yeah, if it's not potted. It might very well be potted. I think Mike said he thought they were potted, but I'll have to double check.
Like, why would you, except for like bad support, why would you pot something like that?
because it's it's just like, why would you encapsulate your silicon in plastic? Because it's an integrated circuit. You just replace the whole box. You don't replace anything on the inside. Baljamet, this is the I forgot what these were. The new the Hollyland mics. The fuzzy dead cat thing here is a little wobbly weird on my throat, but you get used to it pretty quick. And I think they sound like surprisingly good for a wireless mic. So I'm quite happy for how much it cost. It was like, I don't know, $80 or something like that for that. I'm quite happy with how well this microphone performs. All right. I'm assuming that you guys can actually see the chat. Is it like readable? I can't tell.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's all on the OBS screen, like it's all tiny, and I get double chat. We'll see if my camera will be happy by creating the infinite mirror here. So I've got the actual chat here on the right, and then I've got the like super mini version in like my preview window, and I have no idea how readable that is. All right, let's
Very readable here.
slide this bad boy out. You should have seen the room just like an hour ago. It was a mess. I had the Bowmem almost completely apart. And I had that table was over here with tools all strewn across it, and I had schematics laid out. It took me a while to clean the room up.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it looks like it's exploded parts diagram. Oh, nice.
I'm not sure that ADC is potted, but I can see why they would solder seal an RF shield on a 150 kilohertz 16-bit ADC of the era.
Yeah, like
potting is for like 8 high voltage. I mean, you don't get more shielding from plastic. It's like, except if you filled it with what, molten solder.
well, potting also helps with like if it ever has to be transported, right? Like if you've got pretty delicate stuff in there, so like maybe they've got like multiple integrated circuits with interconnections between them, and those interconnections have to be super stable. So they potted the whole thing, so those interconnections between the individual ICs that they've got in that big integrated box are stable. I mean, that's what I would do.
I wouldn't be impressed to see like ceramic hybrids or something like that, and laser etched traces.
I really want to open it and hope that it's not potted, because I think the inside of it will be gorgeous.
KD5TKR mentions that a lot of times it's for weatherproofing, or what I think I agree with him on microphonics, anything coupling physically, acoustically through it.
Yeah, and it's a pretty sensitive ADC, so and it's the ADC for like a piece of scientific equipment. It's got to be pretty precise, so they probably went a little above and beyond with that component.
We still glue chips to boards. It's called underfill.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, there's like 2 extra potentiometers on the sides. Like, it looks like a case. There's definitely a case on top of it, but I mean, would you go through a whole potting compound? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, ultimately, Mike said he's got some spares of those, right? I mean,
nice.
Mike's job is keeping these things up and going, right? So of course he's got spares, and so he's going to hook me up with a spare. I'm also missing the control board that controls the vacuum. So like all the purge and everything that you get set up to run high vacuum on this thing. So he's going to hook me up with that control board. He didn't realize that it wasn't in there. And then he's going to hook me up with an ADC spare. And then if we can get the laser to be a little more stable, like we're pretty much ready to start like really troubleshooting this thing. It's really pretty close. The moving mirror doesn't move, which is a problem. The moving mirror should be able to move, but it generates, so it has plus 12 and negative 12 on the box that controls the moving mirror. And I checked the test points on there and those were showing 0 volts. And it derives those from a plus minus 15 volt supply that's down low. So either that plus minus 15 volt supply has gone bad, or I'm not getting the appropriate voltages all the way up to the box. But I just didn't have time to start chasing that down this week.
On a positive, it seems you have a green light for exploring under that seal.
Oh, is Mike listening? He
Yeah.
says cut it open. Let's go. Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean that's a science video if we've ever seen one.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun short thing to do. Because I'm really curious what's inside of it. If it's all potted, it'll just, it's bad already. So like we'll slice it open and just be like, yep, that one's garbage. But if it's not potted, we could learn a ton about like what's inside of this thing and how it's constructed and everything.
If you have a hot plate, you may be able to heat it up to melt the solder. Though it'll probably burn the ladle.
Yeah, I'm not entirely. I was going to try and cut it because it looks like the solder seal is very, very thin. I was going to try and slice it here. Well, now I'm curious. Dang it! All right, we're on Reese and Roy. You guys are going to have to wait a minute. You guys, I've got an X-Acto blade here, so I'm going to see if I can slice through this thing.
No worries. Take your time.
Do not slice the usagi.
Yeah, well, I've already donated some blood to this project, so. Yeah, if it's just like a simple little solder seal, I might be able to get through it with just cutting. Well, it felt productive.
If that doesn't, you might be able to run the tip of a soldering iron across it.
Yeah, that's another option I was thinking about.
If you have one of those wood burning kits, it's basically a soldering iron with a blade on the end.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Oh, for like engraving wood or something?
Yeah, the old like Boy Scout wood burning kits you used to see in the stores.
Pyrolysis?
No, it's literally charring wood with a soldering iron.
Yeah, it's not like the guys that take a microwave oven transformer and burn wood, using an arc.
Yeah, that's like, that feels like a good way to kill yourself.
Yeah, that's super dangerous. There have been multiple fatalities.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So essentially, they end up having those patterns in them. That's not what you want.
Oh, well. Can't quite
Oh yeah, it is
tell.
called pyrography. You're right. The wood burning stuff.
Oh, pyrography. Yeah.
That's an apt name.
Literally Greek for writing with fire.
And yet the kit I linked still comes with solder and a solder sucker.
All right, I think. Ooh, yeah, I've got one side sliced open here. Let's see if I can. I realize that I'm blocking absolutely everything with my left hand here. me get the camera on the other side so maybe you guys can actually see the work that I'm doing since I'm slicing right-handed.
Oh no, we could see it. That wasn't a problem. But I was a little worried that if that knife slipped, it was gonna be quite gory.
Oh yeah. We'll donate some blood to the project for sure. That's how you know the project's going to work.
As long as it's
There we
just
go.
blood and not a finger.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you need to donate a little skin too.
Beware. He is in the US. That's gonna cost him.
Oh, you're in.
Kind of. Yeah, we're making some progress. I'm making a huge mess of solder on the table.
Ooh, if that's leaded.
Yeah, I was gonna say just some
Yeah,
lead
no.
seasoning for your food.
Yeah. I'll make sure to sprinkle it on my salad the next time. It'll put hair on my chest, right?
Being of the age, you probably were ran into lead paint as a child anyway.
Yeah. So my lead count's already a lot smaller than a lot of people here, so we're good. I've got plenty of quota that I can build up to.
I was thinking of hand slicing. I was thinking of Ray Billings, the guy that does hardcore robotics, the Tombstone BattleBot. He was doing some machining work and slipped and badly injured his hand to where he couldn't run an RC controller for a couple of years.
I was machining a PCB. I forgot what project it was for. It wasn't that long ago though. And I had the big fat bit on there to like flatten out my sacrificial surface that I put the PCB on. And that generates a lot of just detritus. So I was running like the vacuum cleaner while I was cutting. And I got a little close and bounced my finger off of the bit that was running at like 3,000 RPM. I felt mighty dumb on that one.
I got my hand in an airplane propeller.
All right. You take the cake on dumb places to put your fingers.
Now, granted, it was a model airplane propeller. I leave that one out, but yeah, it was a alcohol engine, and it caught just the tip of the prop, caught the back of my hand, and that was 30 stitches.
Oh, geez. I got
Nothing
lucky
takes
that the
off
mill just
like-
took a little bit of skin and that was it.
When I was in 8th grade shop class, the shop instructor trusted me to assist another student who was afraid of the wood cutting router, and he needed to cut a rabbet joint, appropriately enough, in the project he was working on. And I got him all. I talked him through getting it all set up. He made the cut. It was great. And as he's getting done, he goes and he's not paying attention. And I'm like, now turn the router over and set it. No, don't set it on your leg. And it was a 1/2 inch, just, straight cutting bit. And it hit his brand new Levi's and cut a 10-inch long gouge through his Levi's
Oh my God.
without breaking his skin.
Oh,
You got lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
And
I
I-
One
think
for denim.
we're going to be in for a bit of a treat here. I can kind of see on the inside, and it's not just all one big potted mess. Some of it may be potted, but I can already see like a little blue mica capacitor.
So what you're saying is it may be a repairable module?
It's possible.
I mean, if it's just a short, we might be lucky. But repairable, if it's more than just a small short, I would probably say no.
But it's a gradually worsening short, which kind of sounds like it might be a cap failing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a cap failing and it's not failing
give me the corner.
short and doing stuff where it shouldn't go, that might be repairable.
This is
Um,
it's so close. It's so frustrating. I've just got the four
Take your
corners
time.
holding on.
Take your time.
Definitely, this is the time for patience. Don't.
Yeah, the worst thing I want to do is like shatter it because we're so close to the thing coming apart and looking beautiful.
I'm more worried about an X-Acto blade in your thumb.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
I've done that.
Don't worry, he switched. Now it's for his index finger.
There we go. There we go.
It's kind of funny about that particular shop teacher. About 5 years later, in his last year before he was going to retire, he was doing his table saw safety demonstration, and he managed to slice off his index finger.
Oof.
Oh,
Well, that's the best safety demonstration he ever did.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
Don't
the
do what
last
I
one.
just did.
do as I say, not as I do.
I've got to say that if I were to buy a new table saw, I would make sure it has that saw stop feature in it, which is just awesome.
Yeah, that's really crazy. I remember when they that technology first came out, and there was some like the first company that did it was like demonstrating it, and I didn't believe it. Like the video looked fake. The saw stopped so fast.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've seen demonstrations. There was a live demonstration at a trade show about a decade ago.
It's a gun, essentially.
Yeah,
There we go.
it's one shot. It is not cheap if you trigger it, but then again, it's cheaper than the medical bills from slicing the tip off of your finger.
Yeah,
Or
it ruins the saw.
Well, yeah,
It only ruins the blade.
blade and mechanism, but I mean the rest of the saw is relatively fine. I mean there are newer versions that just stop the motor.
Because I knew there was one that like just retracts the blade.
Oh, that's also a good one.
So the saw stop, it ruins the blade and the brake mechanism, but it can all be repaired. One guy did it with a dado stack, which wasn't good. The interesting thing was that was invented by patent lawyers, and when Bosch came out with an equivalent system, they had it blocked from being sold.
That was the one I was talking about, the one that just retracts the blade. That one was the Bosch one. It just retracts the blade without actually firing a thing into the blade to stop it.
Right. It's they use a CO2 cartridge essentially that blows the whole motor down without having. It doesn't need to hit a brake. Then it's just out of your way real quick.
Yeah, and what the patent was is there's a patent on how you detect the contact with skin. It's a capacitive detection, almost like a touchscreen.
Trying real hard not to bend pins here.
There it is. You have to turn it off if you're using wet wood because it will trigger.
Yeah, well, it makes sense because the demonstration I saw used a hot dog.
Yeah. That's the demonstration I saw was using a hot dog. But the one I remember it like it would explode the blade downwards into a vat of something that stopped the blade from rotating as well.
I think it's a block aluminum.
Maybe it was something. I don't remember what it was. It was something to stop the rotation. Oh. Oh my God. That is not good Lord. Okay.
Ooh.
We
got mooned.
It is a sandwich.
It is a sandwich.
Cordwood.
Yeah, you can get this plastic piece off on the bottom. It looks like they just secured it in a couple of places with solder. So we're going to do that next. Time to fire up the soldering iron. I mean, we're in for a penny, in for a pound at this point. but that is absolutely stunning looking inside. So the kind of phenolic, this piece back here, there's nothing on that. That's just like a protection piece that keeps all of the pins aligned. Although there might be...
It looked
it's
like
a ground
it was,
shield. I bet you that's a ground
Yeah.
shield.
It looks silver on the other side.
Yeah. So I bet you that's a big RF ground shield thing. Oh, this is exciting. This is totally not what the stream is supposed to be about, but you know, tangents are allowed. If Shelby has taught me anything.
Thermal Dragon, we're breaking into this thing because it's been naughty and shorting out, and it's part of the BOMEM.
Yeah. Yeah, it has nothing to do with the Lytton, but I've been working on the BOMEM for 4 days. So it's on my mind. And I don't know if Mike is still watching, but if he is, Mike, have you ever opened one of these up, or is this a first for you as well? Mike is Woolly Mammoth, by the way, if y'all haven't figured that one out.
He's still in the audience on Discord.
Okay. Mike, if you want to talk, you
There he
can do a thing where it says raise your hand. You get a little option on the bottom, and I think somebody can give you permission to raise your hand if you've got a mic set up, that is. If Mike's got a mic.
He did at one point.
Yeah. So there's 3 pins on this side that are soldered. And 3 pins on this side that are soldered. And I might be able to get those just with some solder wick. I'm going to try. And if we can get that plate off, you can see this whole thing. It's like, it's a full on, it's crazy. There's a lot going on there.
It would have been hilarious if it was one IC in the middle and just like, okay, we just wanted to make it look big.
No, it's from what I can see, they could not have made this box any smaller. It is an incredible amount of density going on inside of this thing. I just assumed it was like one big integrated silicon thing, but it is not. Are we hot enough yet? I don't think we're hot enough yet. This is very, very cool. Oh, no. Oh, hey, look at that. I might just have to walk this thing off. Heat it up, walk it down, heat it up, walk it down, clean the pins up later. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, last pin here. There we go. Look at that. Oh my God. All right. Well, I wanted to know what was inside, and I now know.
So if we have a failed capacitor, there's like, what, 100 of them?
Yeah, none of them look like tantalums though, so like they're all the types of caps that I would not have expected to fail. I'm going to take a photo of this and
This will be good for the video that you're editing.
yeah, this is not making it into that video. It's been a while. It's too late. I'm done filming for that video. It is, a very large amount going on. I'll post
Oh,
it up
look,
in
it's a-
Friday Night Lit in there.
There's a whole computer in there. Yay.
Pretty much. It's like a single board computer that they put into a like a really large dip package.
That's a Harris chip, I think. That H logo.
Is there actually a CPU in there?
I don't know what that big guy is.
Yeah. What does that say on it?
Silicon
upside down.
General 3 Bravo 2134 Alpha Alpha. Whatever that means.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not any CPU that I'm aware of, but it could be with a different part number.
I mean, it's got enough pins.
Yeah, that it certainly does.
There's a couple of things in here that I do recognize, like a 74SO2. We've got a Mike 74HC175. We got some Charlie Delta 4091, it looks like. This ceramic package is a 5660-5. And then these little guys here are an NE 5532N. I mean, if we had a schematic for this, we could probably troubleshoot it. There are indeed some tantalums. These guys upside down look like tantalums.
The Harris chip is an analog to digital converter.
Okay. Let me clean up.
Yeah, I'd expect that. I just want to know what the big chip is.
Because Silicon General?
There we go. Removing that shield on the bottom, I accidentally pulled a pad off of it, but I don't think those pads don't connect to anything. They're just there to hold it. Oh, look at that. Look at something exploded. Oh, we do have a capacitor failure. This
Is it
hilariously,
black?
this thing might actually be repairable, which would be the coolest thing ever.
Is it the component on the bottom right in the previous photo?
Yeah, I don't know which photo I sent or what the bottom right is in the photo that I sent. Try to get a photo here. We lost a capacitor.
Oh, yeah, that is the bottom right on the earlier photo.
Yeah, that capacitor went. So everything else in here might. I mean, there's a chance that everything else in here is fine.
It is useful when they leave a visual indicator of their failure.
All right, we're in full tangent mode right now. Hang on a second. I got to pull the schematics out. Now, it's not the schematics for this thing. It's the schematics for the BOMIM in general. But it's going to tell me what the pinout of this IC is. And I don't have the data sheet at hand for this IC. I did post the data sheet up somewhere. I don't remember where I posted it. All right. Yeah, we have a tantalum that threw a tantrum, which would, my guess is that that's going to be on the negative 15 volt rail. See if I can find out. There it is, ADC and analog amplifier.
There's your problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's this
like
guy
I
right here.
said, visual indicator of failure. Like,
All right, so 1, 2, and 3 are our power, which is right where the explosion happened. 1 is going to be plus 15 volts. 3 is ground. 2 is minus 15. So if I
So
measure between 2 and 3
that's minus
and
15,
1 and
I
3,
think.
we can. So I can let's do a proper before after test here. I need to get a piece of paper out.
With our
This
luck,
is-
it's another tantalum that decided to try to do a fire in.
Yeah, this is exciting. Like I thought these things were like just completely all unto their own. All right, so I said
Luckily, it was sealed.
pin 2, pin 3. So what was it? What did I say? I said that pin 3 was ground. Let's see, backplate module, bridge sensors, sampling control board. There it is. Yeah, pin 3 is ground. Pin 1 is plus 15. Pin 2 is minus 15. All right, and if I check 1 to 3 and 2 to 3, what are the resistance values that I get here? Yeah, I-2097. No user serviceable parts is a challenge as opposed to a warning. All right, so if I check 1 to 3, that should be plus 15, which is like 2.8K, 2.9K, 3K, kind of what I would expect. If I check 2 to 3, that is 9 ohms.
Another capacitor that decided to become a resistor. How quaint.
So the power supply, the plus 15 power supply, or the plus minus 15 power supply can only supply 500 milliamps. And so 500 milliamps at 15 volts is 30 ohms. This thing is trying to pull like a couple of amps. So let's see if we can get that tantalum out. See if I can figure out which pins it is. It's that pin. Looks like that pin right there. We'll see if I can solder wick my way out of this trouble. So if we remove the tantalum and we go from 9 ohms to, something much bigger. And since it's just a tantalum on the, I'm guessing between minus 15 and ground, it's just like a decoupling cap, right?
Looks like it.
I mean, I still don't know if I would trust putting this back in there. It'll probably skew our results. We've probably done all sorts of irreparable damage to the precision of the thing.
It's
kind of
benchmark it.
solder ball. Oh, that solder ball might be due to me. Yeah, I think that solder ball was from me.
Yeah, somebody commented, I think the fire in there already hosed your precision. I mean, yeah, having magic smoke escape and go everywhere, not great.
Yeah, I wasn't. it wasn't. I wasn't talking about like leaving it as is and putting it back in because the whole thing doesn't work. But more of like running this versus running a replacement.
Yeah, I maybe run like same experiment with that one and the other one. It's like you need a replacement to benchmark it anyway.
Yeah, it might be good to haul this down with me when I go visit Mike. Although I think he's only got a DA8 set up currently, which doesn't use this board.
It uses the same board.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Oh, excellent. So it might be fun to haul this down with me.
Yeah.
And then we
And
can
if
do
you
like
run
a
function
before after
generator,
test.
You can use the function generator in place of the spectrometer detector and put a known signal in and digitize it.
Oh, so we can actually feed a signal to it and get like a very specific result back out.
Yep.
That's smart. I'm having a bear trying to desolder this thing. Let me get some fresh solder on there. Maybe that'll help it flow a little better. I'm trying really hard not to lift a pad. Huh?
Do you have enough room to clip the leg?
I don't have anything small enough to get in there. It's a really tight area.
I mean, there's barely 0.1 inch.
It's interesting. The Silicon General chip must be doing the actual analog to digital conversion. That Harris chip is an 8-bit digital to analog converter to generate an analog signal.
Oh, it's a flash ADC.
So it's got an ADC and a DAC on it. All right.
Yeah, but the DAC is generating probably generating something close,
There we
and
go.
they're doing the rest with probably that load of resistors we're seeing right there.
Oh man, you can see the violence from the.
You can see a DAC test pin on the schematic, so it gives you an indication of what went in, and you can watch it come out.
All right, so if I measure 2 to 3 now, we're at like 5.1 kilo ohms. So yeah, that was absolutely the fault on this board.
I got a bunch more broken ones. I'll send them up to you to fix.
If this works, then like absolutely, because these things, I tried looking on eBay for them, and they're like $100. If it turns out,
Can you throw a picture? Sorry.
Huh? Go ahead.
When you get a second, you throw up a picture of the original top with the part number and stuff.
Oh yeah, I actually took a picture of that. I guess I forgot to post it. It's rotated because my phone doesn't understand what up and down is. But yeah, there you go. That's the original top.
Thanks.
Yeah, this thing is gnarly. This is so cool. I was just like this scary, unknown package that all of a sudden is not scary anymore. Where'd I put my my wire cutter? So they're already up here.
I could tell from the functional diagram of the thing that it had to have been multiple ICs inside of that package.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed that it was all going to be inaccessible, though. I just figured it was all, potted or coated or something. I didn't think it was going to be an actual, like, you can take it apart and work on it type of thing.
1970s was a beautiful time.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
The date code. The date code on that Silicon Graphics or Silicon General chip is 1988, 42nd week.
Oh, it's pretty late.
Now, Silicon
That's
General is also the company that made it. The whole device. So there's a chance that's an ASIC.
That's it, exactly it, I'd imagine.
Oh, so it's their own custom silicon.
Put
Yep.
it in a DIP 40 package for easy solderability.
Which makes sense. All right, I got to get a little
Analog
bit of.
solution.
Let me get a picture of the. You can see the smoke from the tantalum letting loose here.
Oh, the date on the whole assembly is there on the cover, 8th week of 1989.
I'm surprised that late. It's still all through-hole stuff.
Yeah, I
48,
would have thought they'd
by
have
the way.
some SMT in there by that point.
It's a 48 pin dip.
Once the design was formalized, they never updated.
Yeah, probably something like that. At the same time, if that's an ASIC, if they did one batch, I don't know how long that batch would last, because I don't think many people need that amount of ADC precision. So that's
Okay.
a small production.
I need
Oh.
a sanity check on the value of this tantalum. I'm really bad at like knowing how to read these things.
The date on the ASIC is 42nd week of 88, and the whole assembly is 8th week of 89. So that's only 18 weeks apart.
Crazy that either that or it's not an ASIC. I don't know. It's like maybe they did have a lot of fab space to just do custom.
All right.
Small
Data sheet.
Uh,
Were you able to get the value for that?
so I posted a picture up. Is that 10 microfarad? That seems like awfully small for a 10 microfarad capacitor.
Modern technology tantalum?
Well, I came over here looking for something, but I forgot what it was.
We can't see there's a digit that's gone because it blew through it.
So I can see that the lower one is 25V. So I can see that. Oh, no, it says 25 plus. So it says 1025 and then plus with a white stripe, presumably denoting that that's the positive side of the capacitor. Came over here for a little bit of alcohol and a toothbrush. Try and clean up some of the explosion here. Value check says crispy with a hint of smoke. Yep. So is that 10 microfarad at 25 volts? Is that what that thing is telling me?
We're missing it. This should be that's either a 10, that's either 100 or a 101. That's where we find out the actual digit missing is the multiplier.
Oh, there's not a missing digit. It goes 1
what's the
0
top row?
and then you have a long white stripe. Let me see if I can get another picture of this for you guys.
Oh, it's a white stripe.
Yeah, it's a white stripe. That's not an explosion. That's just like that's telling you where the positive side is. Ooh, that's a good picture.
Oh, then it's probably a 0.1. Let me double check.
One of those should turn out all right. Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is a better picture. Coming up right now. Yeah, I think that's a 10 microfarad 25 volt.
At least it's not ring-colored marking. That would have been painful to read.
Yeah, 10 microfarad 25 volt. That's going to be, I've got one of those inside, but it's going to be an electrolytic, which I think maybe I can snake into place if I lay it in this valley here. little bit of alcohol got all the tantalum smoke up, and it cleaned up looking real nice.
But, you can always order the correct cap and just fix it when you get back. I know you want to see if it's going to work.
I mean,
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got a 10 microfarad right now, and I'm like 90% positive I can get it to fit.
Don't forget that for this cap, ground is positive.
Yeah, ground is the positive lead. Yep. I got that wrong once many moons ago on 24 volts, and it lets you know. It lets you know that you got it wrong.
oh yeah, audio warning.
Violently and aggressively.
I've taken some bulging caps I've salvaged from electronics that are replaced, and deliberately reverse them on a battery just to watch them pop.
And yep, you're right. 10 micro, 25 volts.
Okay, let's see here. I mean, I can run inside. There we go. I got a 10 micro and a 50 volt. That'll do. And I am moderately confident that I can put it right in the valley there and bend the legs such that they don't hit each other. And positive.
Oh, somebody in
towards-
Discord posted a tantalum that failed open.
Pin 3. Positive, I'm pretty
In more
sure.
than one way.
Pretty sure you're ground. Yep. Okay. So we want positive to go like that. I want you to twist and angle downwards. And then if I slip you in there and you in there. Oh man, that looks great. Like I meant to do it. Let's get one leg tacked. Make sure that we get this thing straightened out and in the position that we want it to be. Put the other leg in.
So the Harris chip is programmed through the bus interface, and that's your offset voltage.
All right, that should be new cap installed with positive to ground. That's cool. I mean, I kind of want to test it now. I don't know, Mike, if you're still listening, is this thing necessary for the alignment to happen?
No.
It's not, because I could
No.
never get alignment to do anything the other day when I was messing with it.
Well, you
Right.
won't until you get the motor to move.
Oh, right. The motor up top's got to move. Okay.
Yep.
So there's actually no way for us to actually test if this is good right now on my machine.
Well, I mean, if you don't pull the 15-volt power supply down anymore, that's a step, and that might actually
That's
help
true.
the logic on the motor control board.
True. I don't know where the motor control board. Although when the motor control board was still unpowered with this block removed. So whatever went wrong on the motor control board is unrelated. Get this guy here. I'm gonna try to clean up the.
It'd still be a cousin of that tantalum.
Well, I think there's also 2 plus minus 15 volt supplies down there. All right, well, we've done a bit of a repair. I'm sure it's going to be very unhappy if I run it without that case on it.
I mean, it might be noisy, but we don't care about that right now.
True. I might actually leave this bottom shield off as well.
Yeah, it might be. You might as well just leave the shield off for now, unless it although I guess because it will be pretty noisy.
Yeah. All right. Well, so sorry, we're all in on this right now. Sorry, Litton guys.
There's a request on Twitch chat for a picture of the backside of the circuit board.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, somebody's tried to reverse engineer it.
Yep.
The backside is clear enough that you could, but the front side is so dense, and it is a 2-layer PCB. So it would be very difficult to reverse engineer the front side.
Holy crap, this isn't even binary. It's a complementary offset code. It's like almost like a gray code.
Yeah. Welcome to the Bowman Show. We got sidetracked. Hard. But at this point in time,
This could have been the midweek stream. No, not really.
I was not this far along when Wednesday happened. I was way behind.
We would have just seen what that lambda supply. It's like, why you no work?
So I threw in the data sheet for the overall module in the Discord chat.
I do have to say that being gray code makes quite a bit of sense with the few pins that it has.
Okay, let's flip that power off. Let's go.
Yeah, you can reverse engineer the board, but that 48 pin chip is going to be what holds the mystery. It's the Silicon General is micro semi now, I believe.
Mike, the first time I took this thing apart, I was all super nervous and like extra ultra careful, and I've done it enough times that I've taken enough parts on and off of this thing that it's starting to feel somewhat natural.
Good.
Looking
It's
at the
built
block
like a tank.
diagram.
Don't worry too much.
It is built like a tank. I mean, this thing, it's going to hurt me before I hurt it.
Fun to see something from my home province make a dent in science.
Oh, you're from Canada.
Yes.
I thought you
You're
were from.
Quebecer?
Yes.
Very cool.
I went to Montreal to watch the Formula One race in 2006.
Well, I was on that
was cool.
island.
Did you watch the race as well, or were you just on the island?
I just live on the island.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that into Formula One, but yeah, I know it happens.
It was a terrible place to watch a Formula One live because there's no elevation. Like the island is just perfectly flat. And so unless you paid really big money for tickets to get you up in stands to get you elevation, which I didn't because I was in university and I was poor, you're just like you're just at surface level, and the cars are so fast that they just look like a random blur. So it's like to watch the race for the race, it was terrible. All right, we're gonna plug this thing in. All right, and since Mike's here, he can help walk me through. Mike and I were talking over the phone the other day, and I'm trying to learn this thing and figure out what's broken all at the same time. And it's a lot easier if I'm hands-free. That pen is going to cause an issue. Let me get a little bit of solder wick going on here.
Looking at the block diagram of that AD, it is an ADC, right?
That's what they use it for.
Yeah.
So it has more bits of DAC in it than ADC, which is, well, slightly normal, but
I mean, I don't think the Bowman is using a digital analog converter for anything. Is it?
well, it's
Just for
using a
diagnostics.
double 16-bit linear DA converter to zone into that precision.
It's also a little messy.
It's only a 6-bit ADC in there.
Ultra high speed though.
Yeah, it's very fast. That's because you guys are taking a measurement you're taking a measurement at 15 kilohertz or something like that, right, Mike?
Yeah, but that's really not unusual. That's the nice thing about most of the design of this system. It's all geared toward using electronics that are available. I mean, but it wasn't really a choice. The modulation frequencies coming out of the detectors are, in the kilohertz range. So, if you wanted to talk fast, you'd be talking megahertz or something, but no, this was kilohertz.
Well, that looks way cooler without the case on it.
And I think it was to determine the Harris chip that's on there is a D to A converter to set the reference voltage, not the A to D converter. So that's separate. So unless I'm just confused.
No, I mean it's a setup where they're probably just like removing error progressively, getting more resolution. It's like you can do that pretty fast.
All right. Let's see if the laser is going to play nice today.
Question on the one corner of the board. There's what looks like a laser trimmed resistor. I don't know if when you get a second, if you can grab a picture of it.
A lace trimmed resistor?
Laser trimmed.
On the left side?
I don't know what a laser
Oh.
trimmed resistor is.
Oh yeah, that's a ceramic. That's a ceramic.
There's a board with the corner of the board on the short side with a whole bunch of blue resistors kind of angled away from the board. It's
Yeah,
on the
I
same
gotcha.
side as and there's a little ceramic plate next to it.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
What's on that plate?
Doesn't look like hardly anything's on that plate. Don't want-
It might. That's what I think might be the a laser trimmed SIP pack.
Yeah, there's no components on it that I can see.
They might. It'd be internal if it's. I mean, or you just see essentially traces if it's even there or under a coating. It's doing something.
It's under a coating, so I think you're right
Yeah.
that it's a resistor, but it's all coated and I can't see it.
What they do is they make that a resistor and then they actually get you to 0.0001 or whatever. That's your precision element by laser trimming them.
All right.
If it is what I think it is.
I think they're trimming out those wire wound metallic resistor next to it. They're
All
probably
right.
trimming out the error.
Yeah, you're probably right. If that's on, then that's all on the input
Coming
side.
up.
I don't see where they're doing the sample and hold, but that could be inside the ASIC as well. This thing had to be ridiculously expensive.
I mean, looking at the block diagram for the thing, it's like it only has a 6-bit ADC, and it looks external. I mean, they just put like a huge bus, and it's like that might be an external chip. The sample at home might just be a capacitor somewhere, which is hilarious.
All right, Mike, you there?
I'm here.
Can you see what's going on the Twitch stream?
Yes.
Okay, we're in mode 4.
Okay.
My alignment voltages are all 0.
Perfect.
But the mirror is not moving. Oh,
Yeah.
And
Mode
now
4. Everything should be off except the laser.
well, okay, now everything shut off and we went to mode 5, which doesn't exist.
What did you touch?
I put my hand on the chassis.
Laying on hands. That's not a good thing.
And yeah, now I think we got to power cycle it.
Yeah.
We do have a laser on though. Yeah, our laser's up and going. That's a shame.
Yeah. The amazing thing is there is no mode 5.
Yeah, it just popped into mode 5. That's annoying. All right. And that's now off.
Obviously just a coincidence, but
All right, when I start this up, do I want it in test or normal? Put it in normal. All the
you want it
switches.
in mode 4, which is what it came up with. So that's fine. Leave it that way.
Okay. I had it in test with source 2 and the laser switches up.
Okay.
So that topmost switch is up and then, source 2 and laser. All right. Let's see what it does. It's going to do a whole lot of circling around. So we're in mode 4 again. I saw some ones flash on the voltages here, presumably as it's doing a little bit of
That's
aligning.
probably just noise.
Yeah, we don't have a laser now.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
The mirror's rotating.
Yeah.
The microprocessor board's happy.
Yeah, I can turn off. If I turn off the source light, it automatically changed to mode 3 for some reason.
That's very wrong. Now, but if it really is in mode 3, then and if you've got the motor plugged in, then the motor should have some power on it. But if you push on the mirror, I bet it's free.
Yeah, it's free. Our laser came on though.
Good. It's getting better, it sounds like. So go ahead and toggle that top switch to real mode 3.
So down,
yeah.
well, down, put it into mode 4.
Oh, it's okay. That was weird. Go
And
up
then
again?
if I go up, that drops it into mode 3. I feel like that's backwards.
And so now the motor should be moving, but it's not.
Yeah, it's also completely unpowered still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if I go down, we pop into mode 4, and this is where I have access to, I can turn the source 2 light on. No, wait. Mode 3 is where I have control to turn the...
Yeah,
so-
mode 3 has the little toggle switches. Mode 4 has that piano switch up there.
Okay, so if I go to mode 3, now my light source should kick on, which it does. I can see the pinpoint on my hand down here in the box. Our laser is still on. We just don't have, in mode 3, the motor should be cycling, right?
Yeah, it should be moving up and down a millimeter or so.
Yeah, it's not. It's just flat on the limit switch. Presumably because we're not getting plus minus 15 volts all the way up to this motor control board up here.
Well, are you getting the 12 volt on the ADC now?
Yeah, I need to check that. So that was on the back plane. We had plus minus 15 volts on the back plane. And I can check that as U to U. Yeah, I got my plus 15 volts. And I got minus 14.93. So I've repaired that at the very least.
Cool.
So that supply is going good. The second plus minus 15 volt supply on the back plane is at plus 14.93 and minus 15.06. So there's two separate plus minus 15 volt supplies that go to the back plane.
Yeah.
But I don't know if those are the same plus minus 15 volt supply that goes to the board up top. I don't know where that board up top gets its plus minus 15 volts from.
Yeah.
But our ADC seems to be at least playing enough ball that it's not obliterating other stuff,
Yeah,
which is
not
exciting.
pulling it down. That's a good thing.
All right, so we only have two plus minus 15 volt supplies.
Correct.
And both of those supplies go into the backplane as separate plus minus 15 volt supplies. That's those LODZ 152s that I was looking at one of those. So both of those are good. So it's now not a question of a bad power supply. It's a question of why is that not making it up to the ADC board, or not the ADC board, the motor control board. Like
Right.
what is in between the power supply and the motor control board?
And it's
unfortunately,
definitely not making it up to that board.
I can double check, but if I check
That's
the
weird.
plus minus 12 volts on it, let's see here, because there's these little test points on there for plus minus 12 volts.
You mean 15?
No, 12 volts. So it's got test points for after it goes through the 7912 and the 7812. Yeah, those are at 0 volts. Minus 12 is at minus 0.22. Plus 12 is at 0.14. Now, where does plus 15 come into this one on? Or rather, the 7912 and 7812. Anybody that's listening, on a 7912 and 7812, the incoming voltage, what pin is that? I don't have that memorized.
Pin 1.
Pin 1, that's going to be the leftmost pin?
Leftmost pin, viewing from front.
Okay. Yeah, so I should be able to check that pin, because it's entirely possible that board has a blown tantalum or something, and so the 7812 and 7912 are getting pulled down. Yeah, we're still in mode 3. All right, let's hook you up to ground. Laser seems to be decently stable. That's good. All right. Oh, I don't have enough. These just, when you put your electronics 7 feet in the air, it makes it difficult. Makes it difficult to probe.
You're lucky it's not 10 feet.
True. I guess this could be the high resolution model. Yeah, that one shows 0. 0. Yeah, all 3 pins on both the 7912 and 7812 are at 0. So either we have a ground issue.
Check on J40, the connector, and see if pin 1 and pin 2 give you plus 15.
Okay. I'm starting to think we might have a grounding problem. Although I think that connector also has ground on it, doesn't it?
Say again?
No, the 7912 has input on where it has the ground pin for the 78. So it's the middle pin that's the input for the 7912.
All right, J40.
Which is also its back tab.
I don't know which pin is pin 1 and pin 2.
Look on the front faces of the connectors, and there might be a black mark, which would indicate pin 1. Sometimes they do that.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
I'll be right back.
Yep. I got 31 volts on it.
Wouldn't plus and minus 15 give you 30 volts? So that would be close.
No, I think that's my 28 volt rail. I've also got a minus 31 volts. That's weird.
That's an unloaded 28 volt that you're looking at.
Well, I've got a 2 separate lines that give me a plus 31 volt and a minus 31 volt.
Yeah, that's like I said. So the power that's going into that board is plus and minus 15, plus and minus 28.
Oh, you've got a plus and minus 28 as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have the plus and minus 15. All I saw was the plus and minus 28.
Yeah, so the 15's not getting there, so you're not making any 12.
Yeah. Which is kind of what we were expecting. The question is why isn't the 15 making it there? Because it's making it to the back plane.
Yeah. Now you know why I cut all of the zip ties to trace the wires.
Yeah. Yeah. This feels like we've got revision problems going on or something. Like we got something that doesn't match like we've got hardware that doesn't match itself or something. I don't know. That's really weird because there are only 2 plus minus 15 volt supplies on this thing.
Yeah.
They're both
you
good.
end up with an unplugged plug. It's like,
And you've checked all the fuses.
Yeah.
ooh.
Yeah. Multiple times.
Are there more than the fuses down there?
But so my question is like if I'm seeing both of the plus minus 15 volt supplies on the backplane, that says that one of those two has to be the plus minus 15 that goes up to that board. So
Yes.
Where's it getting lost?
I mean, it's 2 different parts of the wiring harness, so
Yeah. I'm guessing that the cable comes from the backplane to P40. Let's see if I can figure that out. So P40 is the plug that's going to that thing, right? I'm pretty positive that we have a diagram in here that shows us the power wiring. Yeah, there we go. All right, so for people curious, this is what I'm looking at. see if I can find a J40 on here or a P40. 42. There we go. J40 plus minus 15 plus minus 28. So that's the one. Plus minus 15 are coming from J111, 16, and 17. So where is J111 coming from? J111 is down here. Well, that says 16, 17, and this only lists like 4 pins for J111. That's not right. What is station number 1 and station number 2?
We're reading that?
This
On the
is in
J40?
the... Yeah, so on this page in the schematics that shows kind of the power wiring,
Okay.
J40 shows that plus minus 15 is coming from J111. Looks like 15, 16, 17 is going to be our plus minus 15, but I don't know where J111 is coming from. My guess would have been the power supplies on the bottom. I think I've got that schematic around here somewhere too. Here we go. There's J102, 101, 100, 108, 109, 105, 118, 120. 111 may not be coming from the power supply then.
111 is for source control. That has nothing to do with the 15 volts. That's a that's a toggle switch used but that's
Oh, maybe that's J11, not J111.
okay, good.
It's so small font. Yeah.
A copy of a copy too.
Yeah. Okay. J11 is up here. Okay. So that's plus minus 15 going over to J40. So the question is where is J11 coming from? That might be the CPU backplane. Backplane module.
Oh, it would help if I'm not looking at the DA8 manual.
Yeah, P11 is on the backplane. I think that's what it looks like. So it seems to be like they're referring to connectors as plugs and jacks, and then
Yes.
the numbers line up. P11 plugs into J11, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Except that this lists more plugs than this one does. And this picture doesn't list a P11 at all. Oh yeah, it does. There's P11. Okay, so power's way down there. P11 is going to be up here in the corner. I can follow P11. Our laser's still on. I mean, that's excellent.
That's amazing.
I was having such trouble getting that thing to turn on the other day.
Well, like I said, the more it's on, the more it burns some of the debris onto the glass surface and out of the gas.
I'm just going to turn the light off. Leave the laser on. There's 10. There's 11. And 11 has a whole lot of wire wrapping going to it. Yeah, I'm wondering if that plug is got shook loose or something while it was in transit. You know, like maybe we're chasing a demon that's not actually a demon. It's just a loose connection. I gotta figure out which one's J11 though. Straight down from. I can't hardly read the silk screen. There's so much wire wrapping in the way. Yeah, right there. So we should have 15 volts on J11. And that's going to be on pins 15, 16, and 17. So if I can find it on the back plane, but we're not getting it on the wires, that would say that we've got a connector problem going on. Which one use ground? Pretty sure you're ground. Oh, well, it's also not that. 15, 16, 17 here.
Yeah,
13.
we prefer using wires than wireless power transfer. Doesn't give a good result otherwise.
All right. It looks like that is potentially not getting there. I need some better ways to connect to that. So what is the plus minus supposed to be? Let's see. That's on 17. All right, so if I plug you into you like this, we go 14, 15, 16, 17 for my ground. Let me check. 16 and 15. I should see plus minus 15 volts. And we do not. So we've got a connection problem of plus 15, minus 15, not making it to the connector on the backplane, which I would have thought would have been etched. I would have thought the power rails were all etched on this thing. But it could be wire wrapped, I guess.
The power on the backplane is.
Oh, you turned into a robot there for a second.
Sorry, the power on the backplane is etched.
It's etched for most of them, but I don't think it's etched to these side connectors. I can't tell. If I look at it from the front, I can't quite see. But yeah, so we could have power trying to get to those pins via wire wrapping, and then that wire wrap is broken. Or I wonder if that plus minus 15 has to pass through the bridges board. And with the bridges board not present, it doesn't make the pass through.
No. And I don't think the power is going through the backplane at all. The control signals are, but the power is should run straight through the wiring harness. But you're not seeing the 15 on J40, so
Yeah, and I'm not seeing it on J11 either.
No.
So it's getting to the backplane, but I'm not getting it all the way up to the motor control board. So there's
Where are you seeing J11?
in the schematics or on the machine?
Well, both.
So in the schematics, the drawing number is IEL240IL.
Okay.
I think. This is the left side card cage wiring, is what it says.
Yep, that's makes sense.
So, and on this page, you've got J40 listed, which shows your plus minus 15 volts. And you can see that it says, plus 15 is J11 pin 16. The return is J11 pin 17. And then minus 15 is J11 16. And so then if I follow J11 over to the backplane schematic, it does list J11 as a plug on the backplane. So then if you go to drawing number IEK0100L, that's the backplane components layout. And you can see P11 is listed on there. And my thinking is that that's the same, that's the P11 that the J11 connects up to that supplies plus and minus 15 to the J40. That it's going to be the logic voltage that the control board needs.
Yeah, but P11 says XY scan amp.
Yeah, I noticed that, but
and that's the fixed mirror motor.
But P40 is the one that goes to the moving mirror, right?
Yep.
So do we have a situation where the schematics are telling us different things?
Let me. No, I don't think that's what we have. IED04.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out how this thing is getting, it's plus minus 15 volts. And the only indication that I see that talks about J40 says that it's coming from P11, which is on the backplane.
Yeah,
The XY motor amp. Oh, the XY motor amp also gets signals via J11. So J11 runs the XY motor amp on J39, as well as the voltages for J40. Just the logic voltages, not the actual drive voltage. So just the logic voltages for J40 for the moving mirror also go via J11. So J11 has both on it.
okay.
Yeah, so we've got to disconnect somewhere. What I need to do is I need to shut it down and do continuity checks between P40 and the backplane to figure out where my plus minus 15 is supposed to be coming from. And then do continuity checks between the backplane and the known plus minus 15 on there to see
Yeah,
where we're
it's
broken.
just a bad connection somewhere. I don't think it's anything more than that.
Yeah, it's just it's going to take us a hot minute to trace it down.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Time to return to your originally scheduled program.
yeah, time to get back into the Lytton. But that was cool. We got the ADC put together. I am skeptical but hopeful, cautiously optimistic. What are the right words here?
We'll hook you up with a spare anyway.
Yeah, but if this proves to work, we can always put the bottom and the can back on it and re-solder seal it.
Yep.
And then that could be a viable alternative for these because they are of limited supply, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Laser, thank you for your service.
Why don't you just leave it powered up if you can for a couple hours? Let the laser do its thing.
Okay. Yeah, I can slide it backwards. It's a little in the way, but I can.
Well, if it's in the way, shut it down. Don't worry about it.
No, I can slide it a little bit.
Put a couple hours on laser and let it burn in.
There we go. Yeah, that's good where it is. Yeah, we'll let there's nothing else that can get hurt. I mean, I've got the source off.
Yep.
It's just sitting there in mode 3. Should I leave it in mode 3 or mode 4, or does it matter?
I would put it in mode 4, just a little bit safer.
Okay. Laser is still on. It's sitting in mode 4. I have no idea what the alignment on the laser detection board in the back is, but it'll just sit there and burn that laser in.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're back over to this fun stuff. Just a slight detour. I need to clean up. Okay. Shut that down. Get this stuff out of the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the next time that we dig into this, that I have a full week to dedicate working on that thing, on that Bowman, we're gonna get it doing stuff. It's pretty close to doing stuff right now as it is.
Well, when you come down, I'll walk you through the alignment card.
Okay. Yeah, so the fringe pattern looked pretty good on it. I just got to figure out how to align the sensor board on the back. That thing has so much slop in the holes that you've got like almost a 1/4 inch of movement in every direction.
Yep.
So I got to figure out how to get that aligned. And I'm sure there's a proper way to do it that doesn't involve looking at a laser. Or getting hit in the eye by a laser, I should say.
Stare at the oscilloscope.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. You put the scope on it and you move it around until you see peak value.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's a test point on it. Oh, there's a bunch of test points on it.
Yeah, bunch of them.
Yeah. Oh, that'll be fun.
You will learn a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So once I get past the what is expected behavior and what is unexpected behavior, we can start really start learning stuff, because if it's throwing unexpected behavior at me, but it's my first time experiencing it in general, I don't know that it's unexpected behavior.
Exactly.
Which can get a little tricky. I'm going to close this up. I did put the spring-loaded solenoid in the back together. That seems to be working perfectly.
Okay, good.
I cycled it through a bunch of different cycles just to double check. And so everything, aside from occasionally dropping into mode 5, which makes 0 sense, everything else seems to be moderately stable. We just got to get that motor moving, which I think is just a wiring issue. Probably want to put a good ADC can in it until we can verify that the the cheap repair on that one works.
Do you have a
Um,
function generator?
I do.
Okay, good.
It's it's from the 1960s and runs on vacuum tubes, but it'll put a sine wave out.
And of a known shape and size?
Oh yeah, it puts out probably the cleanest sine wave of any function generator I've seen. It's an old
Perfect.
HP 200 CD. They were known as being some of the best.
Yeah, it'll
So-
be easy to test the ADC.
Yeah, well, I'll bring it with me when I come down to visit, which will probably be before I start filming the next episode, anyways. So, we can test it at your place as well.
Okay, good.
That'll be fun. It'll be fun because if tantalums are a pretty common failure point on anything of this age, and so if we're replacing that whole package because tantalums keep going up, we could save a whole lot of headache by being able to repair them as opposed to just replace them.
Yeah.
Let's do.
I'm surprised you actually managed to find them online.
They're all in Europe.
Yeah,
Which
the
means
last place I found them was a company called Sweetwater, which is music, electrical amplifier type stuff. And I think I bought the last two that they had.
okay, so that it's definitely a rare, getting to become a rare piece.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the laser, because I was talking with Adam earlier about this, because the helium neon lasers are getting pretty rare as well, right?
I have no problem at all finding laser tubes. And in fact, that's probably most of my business right now is rebuilding those modules, put new tubes, power supplies, and stuff in them.
Oh, but you can still find the helium neon tubes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because we found, Adam sent me a link to one that was a silicon laser that was the same wavelength as the helium neon. That was like $400 and still being produced and like being produced today. So I was like, well, that's a potential. I mean, you have to effectively gut the original laser chassis and put a new power supply in it. But if you could go to a modern laser diode that just has the right wavelength, it should work, right?
Well, see, this is where you get into the situation where, people say, oh, the wavelength is this. And that's one of those lies that the English language is famous for. Yeah, well, it's, what's the line width? How clean is it? What are the side lobes like? Is it, there's a lot of questions.
Okay.
And we could actually put that diode through the spectrometer and measure it. And if you could find a diode that was at a frequency that's clean enough, it could be used, absolutely.
No,
So
the one I was talking about was a from Thor Labs, so it's supposed to be dead on nuts at 632.8 or whatever the helium neon line is. That was I do barcode scanner, so I kind of went through the whole adjustment from 632 to 650 when semiconductors happened.
Yeah, but we need the width.
You mean the laser width or the
yeah, the
width of
line
the
width, because on gas lasers, the shorter the optical path, the distance from front to back of the laser, the shorter that is, the broader the line shape. And that's been the problem with diode lasers because they're absolutely teeny tiny, so their line shapes tend to be very broad. It might be centered at 632, but if it's broad, that doesn't work for this particular application. So that's the real question.
Gotcha.
Because when we're doing full resolution, if we have this laser tube, actually, if it's uncontrolled, is capable of putting out 2 adjacent modes. And the separation between those modes are big enough to degrade the resolution of the spectrometer at its highest resolution, because we can no longer say, hey, the mirror has moved this exact distance, because we got 2 different modes coming out. So that's the thing I was saying about the diodes. If we can find one that has a narrow bandwidth, then yeah, we can use it. But I just
And of
haven't
course-
spent a lot of time looking for that, because I can still get the helium neon tubes.
Gotcha. And it of course, like any other semiconductor, it's going to move with temperature, and it's not going to be perfect. I can give you a link to it if you ever need it, but it sounds like if you can get the tubes, that's the best way to go.
Yeah. So we actually do put a diode laser in our desktop 4-wave number resolution system. And yeah, we have to periodically re-verify the frequency of the laser because it does drift.
Gotcha.
But hopefully someday they'll make them good enough. And then we talked a little bit about, if we're doing diode lasers, throw a blue one in there. It's a shorter wavelength, makes everything better. And that's true, but believe it or not, the difference between red and blue is almost insignificant. In our human experience, we think it's this big thing, but in the grand scheme of the electromagnetic range,
it's just a couple nanometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's color is a very small section.
It's I was thinking about this. There was somebody that after I made that last video, there was somebody that jumped in the Discord and started talking about. I'd never heard about it, so I don't know. I don't know the veracity of this, but like apparently some people can see into the ultraviolet range. I think that's what it was. Further than the average human can see into the further beyond what we classify as the visible spectrum. Like they have a fourth cone or rod. I forget which one does color.
Normally, it's an extra red sensor.
Maybe that's what it is. But I was trying to think of like, if you can see into the ultraviolet range, like what does that mean? Like, what does that look like? Like, and then
somebody made an interesting video about how it would look like to have a fourth cone, and it was interesting because it was 4D color space, and he was representing it with I think patterns. It's like if you have the extra cone, you see the pattern and you can distinguish things that are undistinguishable.
Right.
I mean,
my father is red-green colorblind, and my sister is a tetrachromat. She has four, she has the two slightly different rods, or
cones. Yeah.
Or cones. So it's exactly that. It isn't that she sees a wider range; it's that she sees tighter differences. What I will see as two identical shades of pink, she will see as two entirely different shades that aren't both pink, and things like that. So for her, color coordinating her clothes when she was a teenager annoyed her.
Okay.
Because she could see differences in her clothes that nobody else could see.
Wow.
And it even got to the school colors, for example, were blue and gold, and the gold colors were different to her. Everybody else was like, no, they're the same. She's like, no, they're not.
Also, people who have a lens removed, for infection or for whatever reason they have a lens taken out and not have an artificial one put in, the lens in the eye absorbs UV, so they can actually gain this ability to see UV light because they don't have a lens in their eye.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
It was just this,
Yeah.
like the visible spectrum, like trying to think about it. Like, what if you had superhuman eyes, right? And you could see, or like, what if you were a mantis shrimp, right? And you had like 47 different rods and cones, and you could see all this extra information, but like, how would you even describe that to somebody who only has the ability to see red, green, and blue? Right? Like, what does ultraviolet look like to somebody who can't see ultraviolet? What does infrared look like to somebody who can't see infrared? Just like, what does red or blue or green look like to somebody who's colorblind?
Yeah.
Like, how do you describe that? Were we on L30 or L40?
L40.
L40? Okay.
You ever seen the movie? I think it's Mask, not the Jim Carrey movie. The other one,
No.
the one that stars Cher. It's a true story. Kid who was born with a facial deformity. But there's a scene in that movie where he's trying to describe colors to a blind person, and he does it with rocks. And he for the reds he heats the rocks in a pot, and the blues he freezes them.
Okay.
That one's always stuck with me.
Well, and with my dad being red green colorblind, he tried those glasses that color correct, but he'd gotten so used because by the time those came out, he was in his 70s, and he'd gotten so used to seeing color the way he does that it really didn't interest him.
Yeah.
But that kind of concept may be interesting for like what you're talking about with the UV and possibly the infrared, because some animals actually do see like near infrared.
Oh yeah, the bees, especially, and you can see flowers in infrared.
Yeah.
I think they use UV.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of insects use UV because their eye is so short. The shorter wavelengths can focus in time between the lens and the sensor. Longer wavelengths don't have enough distance from the lens to the sensor to actually come to a focus, so they can't see the longer wavelengths.
Some flowers have a lot more patterns than what we can see.
Yeah, yeah.
And people have stripes that you can see under UV.
So we're in business now?
00. Yeah, I think we're fired up. I just put 8000 on repeat. If I hit run, grab a single shot of that. Looks like we've almost got 2 full drum rotations. We're set up at 1 millisecond per division, so a total of 10 milliseconds.
And yeah, so we save that as 200K and it should be good.
Yep. It's been a week. Give me a second here.
Yeah.
Go save. We save it as ASCII XY data. That's right.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Save to USB. File name is going to be track 0. Track 00. Go back. Settings. No, we don't want that to be 2,000. We want it to be 200,000.
It still amazes me that this 55-year-old computer has the data intact on it and operation. That's just so cool.
The drum, man.
Yeah, could we have a capture of the same track, but with it in halt?
Okay. Is it supposed to be different?
No, but we had
We're wondering if it's
seen
different or the same. Yeah.
Okay.
because
I'll do
we
track
had-
00 here again and halt. I don't need to do every single track and halt, right? And
Oh
run?
no.
Okay.
No. Just I need I want to see a comparison because we had you had said so. Oh, it looks different when it's halted than not halted. It's like okay, but is it cleaner or less clean?
Oh.
And we don't know because we need to zoom in so far.
If this was something that
Okay.
I said last week, keep in mind I was operating on about 4.5 hours of sleep last week. So
Yeah.
any of the words that came out of my mouth could have been wrong.
Yeah, but it did look marginally different on the screen.
All right, let's go
So-
run. Let me halt it. Do a single shot again. I'll do another single shot. There we go. Let's go file name, track 00. Let's go, oh, not caps. Dash HALT. Okay. Track 00 halts. Settings are still 200,000. I'll hit save. And there we go. Now we just need to do this for 14 through 31.
Yep.
So we're moderately confident that track 1 through 13 was totally fine. Right.
Yeah, I had a good look when I realized that there was an issue with the track around. I had a look at the other ones, and I all seemed to. It's the instructions made sense on the other tracks in the places where these ones didn't. So I think we're good.
Okay. Little Miss Murder, we're just now getting started on a stream that started 2 hours ago because I got super sidetracked by a infrared spectrometer. So the spectrometer is actually on right now. It's currently sitting there running, burning the laser in. But what we're doing with the Litton mini computer here is we're dumping data off of the drum by using the oscilloscope to directly read the actual clock track and selected data tracks. See if I can get a better camera angle here. This way we can back up not only the built-in operating system, but also any user programs that might be on there. And there is user data still on this thing. We backed up some tracks and we found an address and a couple of names and interesting stuff. This is
And maybe
19
part of a blackjack program too.
Yeah, that would be cool. Little Miss Murder, this thing is from about 1969 to 1970.
Your audio cut out.
Oh, Little Miss Murder.
Your audio is cutting in and out.
Oh, well, I wonder if that's because the drum is noisy. It's from about 1969 to 1970 is when this machine. I think this particular one was 1970, but they started building this model in 69. So next up is 8700. Gotcha. 8.
Yeah.
700 700
Do you want me to call the numbers out for you?
00. I've got it listed up here.
Okay.
You punched them. The thing that you typed in should work. All right, there's a run. Get a single shot there. Let's say file name this is track 14.
Yeah, track 14.
I can actually set this to increment now, so I don't have to, since we're just going in order from here on out, I can set it up to auto increment. The drum sounds like infinitely better than it did on day one.
You keep
and
cutting it in and out there, Usagi.
Really? Wonder what's causing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not showing like hardly any drop frames. I wonder if
I
it's
mean, on the Discord.
on the Discord. So the audio's fine on Twitch, but not on Discord. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just Discord being stupid.
It's Discord being Discord.
Yeah, I would. All right, this might upset the stream here for a second, but let me hang up on Discord and then rejoin. I'm just going to disconnect quietly. You guys should still be going. So I got to join stage. I'm going to raise my hand. Somebody has to let me in to speak. All right, I should be back on Discord now.
Good.
I can hear you.
Okay. Hopefully that fixes the cutout problem. And also, hopefully the stream didn't crash on Twitch. Okay. We're going to change you to increment. So next up is track 15. So we'll halt.
Stream is still going.
15 is going to be 8780, correct? 8087.
Sorry. Yeah, that's correct.
8780. Back to control. Run on you. Hit run on you. Take a single shot on you. This is track 15. We will hit save. All right.
It's Mike's input is giving out a bit of static / noise.
Oh, Mike, I think your mic is picking up something.
Yeah, that,
Sorry about that. I was actually doing some wiring. Let me mute myself.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Now now it's hurry up and wait. We've got track 15 going, and we want to get all the way to 31. So,
Yeah.
talk to me about Opus, because initially we thought it was just on 30 and 31, right?
Yeah, it's just more and more of it. we keep on more. So yeah, it looks like the read-only tracks basically are the core of Opus that you need to recover the rest of it if you like accidentally overwrite it. But it is definitely extending into other tracks I think it's 4 and 5 and 8 and 9 and stuff like that. And I think there might even be some on track 20 as well, because I saw it jump over to that. But we actually got quite a lot of it. About half the commands were working in the emulator, and I managed to reverse engineer a good chunk of it. Even found the interpreter, so that I actually found some of the opcodes and how they work and stuff. So we're getting closer. But yeah, it's a lot bigger than we thought it was.
well, for some reason on the smaller capacity drum machine, they always talk about like 16 through like a large band of like 10 to 16 track being like Opus, and then on a bigger machine that has 31 tracks, you say, oh, just 31 and 32. It's like, what?
Yeah,
So is it
Yeah.
is it Opus that we're seeing, or are we seeing Opus try to jump to user programs and whatnot?
No, it's not like, well, it's possible that Opus is sort of in two parts. There's the core operating systems part, the kernel, if you like, and then there's additional things on top that allow you to write the high-level assembly programs and to run the high-level assembly programs. Maybe it's a case where you can load a variable amount of stuff. Like if you just do the basic Opus, then all you get is some kernel routines that you can use to print and read and stuff, and then you have to write your own program. But then you can put them on top of that where you can run programs off paper tape, and then more on top of that, you can actually write new programs. So it's possible that the smaller drums had the ability to run use the programs from tape, but not necessary to write new ones on the machine. You had to do that separately. That's what I was sort of thinking, but right now I took it the whole lot.
I was thinking about like something like software packages. It's like, oh, you just have the core Opus and you have Opus plus other things. It's like, because I was trying to see what else was differentiating stuff, and turns out the different models that were identical to me, one of them had a magnetic card reader, which was an extra thing. So that explains that one. But it's like, how does Opus use the upper tracks compared to the lower tracks? It's like, it's not very documented.
The other thing that could be going on is that the special protected tracks are able to reload all of the other Opus tracks, but if you wipe the special protected tracks, then you have some much more difficult task you have to do.
Yeah.
So they protect only the ones that are absolutely essential, because they can be used to restore everything else. But in reality, everything else is always there, and if you screw it, they're just trying to give you an out if you screw yourself over.
Yeah, something like maybe the basic stuff like loading in from paper tape. That's on protected tracks.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe even a lot of the core of Opus is on read-write.
So we keep talking about Opus, but like we realize, like, I realize it's an operating system, but like if you say operating system, the image of what it actually does is wildly different depending on the machine. So like, what does Opus do?
It's basic. It can run commands. It can load in data to the drum, speak data from the drum, print. It's like it's not really an operating system, but it's programming language.
Well, I mean, it's what
it's a lot of stuff.
What you consider, what could be considered a resident monitor. That's what, at least that's how I would describe it.
Yeah.
Do you know how DOS was an operating system, but really when your program ran, it had more or less control of the system.
I mean, again, DOS would be a resident monitor. It'd be a more full-featured resident monitor than Opus is, but still, like, that's how at least that's how I would describe it.
Right, but it also has a monitor, an interactive monitor, and I believe assembler too.
Yeah. So the brochure that Roy found for the Lytton mentions the mnemonic interpretive language facilities as a kind of a separate thing from just the regular software. So possibly that's what it is. Opus is really just a very basic kernel that gives you basic facilities for. I did see mention like multiplication and division and number output and stuff. So you get all those basic things, but then you can get them in mnemonic language facilities installed over the top. And I am seeing that most of those facilities seem to be in the non-protected tracks. So that may be what it is they've just installed all the packages so they could write programs on this one.
Yeah, because at the end, it's like mnemonic things. It's like, yeah, okay, you're reading a first character. Oh, that first character tells me this is an addition. Take the next character. Oh, that's a digit. Store it as a digit. I mean, it's basically like any programming system. It's hard to distinguish it from an OS. It's like it's just an interpreter. It's just interpreting what you put in, and it tries to execute it.
But it has, basic routines to like load from paper. Like if I say type in whatever the load from paper tape command is, it interprets that and then goes off and runs that basic code. That's part of the.
And I was actually managed to load a paper tape with the code I've disassembled so far. So that is definitely in the section we've already got. Obviously, I don't have a useful tape, but I was able to make something that looked like a tape and load it. What track are we on?
80, just a second. 8089. So 8980, so track 19.
Awesome.
Single shot. Save. I've got a pretty good rhythm going on now. No guarantees that I got the code right for every single track, though. So you may have one track in here that just doesn't make any sense, or is a duplicate of another track or something, at which point we'll come back and dump just that single track.
Yeah. Well, it should be easy to see if I got a duplicate.
Yeah.
Is that slightly odd? That's an odd track, but the track light's not on?
Yeah, I haven't been looking at the track light. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
on the control register. So, or I guess, yeah, track 19 is an odd track. So, but it's 89. 89 is 8980 is 1000, 1001, and then 1000 and 00, right?
I mean,
Yes.
it being 8 should be
Yeah, the
No,
track light
yeah,
should be on it on that one.
odd.
So
We'll
does
just
that mean
watch
that
it.
I got,
Maybe the track light has gone out.
does that mean I got
that
it wrong?
might be it.
Let me halt this guy. Oh yeah. that's
Just
exactly.
check what you got in the register for this one.
So the control is 1000 1001. So 89
Mm-hmm.
1000 all zeros. So 8980 8980 8980 89.
Have we maybe burnt out the track light?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. Has it kicked on at all today?
Might not have.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, keep going, and then we'll keep an eye on the track light.
Yeah, we'll find out on track 21, right?
20 and 21, yeah, because one of them should be lit.
Yeah. So the next up is 8A00. What is A?
1010.
1010?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So that's going to be 1000 1010. And then 00. 1000 1010 00 1000 1010 00 1000 1010. Let me make another loop, double check that. 1000 1010 00 1000 1010 00 1000 1010 1010. Yep. Alt. Single track light never kicked on that one.
Well, that was an even track, so we would expect it to not have the track light on.
Yeah. Little Miss Murder, this is a Litton model 1601. Yeah, Roy got it. Roy's on the ball.
Yeah, really what? Oh,
I was going to say the documentation for it should all be up on BitSavers.
Now with better OCR.
Yeah.
And the pages got rotated. I mean, the sideways diagrams got all rotated.
yeah, really
So-
what? Oh.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, really, Opus reminds me of more of the monitors on like the Ferranti and Manchester Mark I and successors. That's what it reminds me of the most of any OS that I've seen. Like,
But it sounds a little more full-fledged than what I would consider to be a memory monitor, where it's like you're actually punching in.
well, no, I'm not
Like the front panel is a memory monitor,
Yeah.
effectively, right?
Well, no, what I'm talking about are they're they're a little more primitive than this yet, but they're the same general idea. They like handle, it handles like paper tape. It handles input from paper tape and stuff like that. It provides a few basic commands and basic system calls, but it doesn't provide anything like handling a sequence of batch jobs.
80, 8A, 80, 8A, 80.
Yeah, I think the track light might be busted.
Yeah, our track light doesn't seem to be kicking on anymore. I mean, it's really not that vital of a light, right?
Wasn't it flaky before anyway?
They're all flaky. Like the ready light works now, and it wasn't before, but our power light is still off.
So maybe that's what we need to get into next in parallel with the I/O is to pull the front panel apart.
No, thank you. We took it out once, and it looked like a nightmare, so we put it right back in.
Yeah,
Okay.
we found something that could be considered a lamp that could be there. We have to disassemble like telephone unit modules.
They're weird 18-volt lamps that have like a flat top. They're very strange looking bulbs.
Yeah, we found that they look identical to telephone company light modules, but they have a carrier. We'd have to disassemble the carrier.
So we should have about 10 tracks to go.
Yeah.
We've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 or so far.
Yeah, we're making pretty good
Commodore
progress.
Z has some? Huh.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. Being from telephony gear, I can see that. All right, let's go run, halt, move you back over to control. We're up to 22 now, which is 8B. What is 8B? 1011?
1011.
Okay.
1011. Yep.
That goes to B, and then it's 8B00, right? Yeah. I'm starting to detect a pattern. 011, 00, 1011, 00.
Yes, the track address is 5 bits, so there's 4 in the command word and then 1 more in the other word.
1000,
Byte, sorry.
1011. Yeah. 00, 11, 00, 11, 00. All right, let's go run. Single shot. This is track 22. Press to save. And we're off to the races. Yeah, KD5. This thing is an Eldritch. The wiring in this thing is a little wild. Eldritch Nightmare sounds about right.
I tried to wrap my head around how this thing works, and it just gives me a headache. It's like that track light serves in the shift operator for something else than what selecting a track is. Just because, oh, it's a flip-flop, let's reuse it.
Yeah,
So
BBM Donut. Yeah, you got it, Reese. You can take it.
Yeah. So you're basically right. What we're doing is we're putting in a load from load into accumulator instruction that loads a specific address on a track, and then that causes the Lytton to select that track and just stream the data on that track out the read amplifier, and then we capture it on the oscilloscope. And then later on, Roy and I have some magic Python scripts that we can use to convert it into real data.
Yeah. And the crazy part to think, the thing that's driving the lights that we're toggling on and off is actually the same flip-flop that's actually changing the transformer selector that's selecting the track. There's no other flip-flop. That's the only flip-flop that's doing the job. So literally pressing a button on the front panel is switching tracks, even when the device is not running.
Should be track 23, which is 8B80.
Each track is 128 words of 40-bit information.
The XY ASCII traces are about 4 megabytes per trace. So it's like 16 megs per track. I think that's what it came out to last time.
Yeah, we're running to 200,000 samples, and we're getting about 2 and something drum rotations.
Although
Because it's
16 megs per track is not right. It's only 4 megs per track. But we're recording 3 additional tracks with each track we're reading, so we know the timing.
Yeah.
When they're combined back together again into one file, it comes out at about 10 megabytes. But
All right, yeah. So for our 20K drum, we're going to take up like 200 megabytes of storage.
yes, ridiculous.
That's awesome.
I mean, we could have tried to sample it after the flip-flops. We would have had clean signals instead, but there's no test point for that.
No,
On the plus side, we should be able to see every single blip on the magnetic media, so you could probably lay it all down again if you could figure out how.
The 8C is C is 1100, right?
Correct.
10000 00 reset 1100.
I know the exact
00.
pin of which IC if we wanted to see post the flip-flop, but I mean, we'd have to use micro grippers.
Okay. Let's go run. Single shot. This is track 24. Now getting saved.
Are you seeing variation in the data from track to track? Because I just see a blur.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to say. The end of each track, since we got the track looped about twice here, I can see the end of the track, but it's constantly walking around because we're not triggering on anything meaningful. So each track does look different, but it could just be because the things are in slightly different locations is all.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether the second half of the drum might have a few more 0 tracks. I'm pretty sure track 30 is just zeros. So
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's, especially here in this kind of no man's land between about 23, 24 to 30. It wouldn't surprise me if some of these are just nothing.
Oh, hilarious. The BBM donut, what type of error correction checksumming did they use for the data? None. And
Yeah.
FM recording for the raw magnetic flux?
Just send it.
Nothing. This thing is raw.
I don't care about your flipped bits, man.
I mean, they have parity check for the inputs and outputs. That's it.
8C, 80, C, 80. That is good. We'll hit run. Do a single shot. Yeah, this track looks identical to the previous track, just from what I can see on here.
we might have hit the 0 section or something.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if, between about track 20 to 30 is all zeros or something.
Yeah. I'll scan them anyway, just in case.
Yeah, AJ, it is a legitimate question to ask what kind of error correction checksuming they do, but Litton wanted to go for minimum viable product here, it feels like.
Yep. And there's reuse of components. It's nuts. It just seeing how data moves through the machine. It's just reading the manual. Everything's coded in code because you can't put a label on something. It's reused so many times. So they just went, okay, letter, 2 numbers, everything.
I mean, to be fair, they created an entire computer with like 100 ICs.
174. Yeah.
It's 174. That's like
That
nothing,
includes. That's including the amps for reading.
man. It is absolutely minimum viable product. All right, we're up to track 26 now, which is going to be 8D. What is D? 1101.
Right.
Okay. 1101. And you're back down to 0. So 1101. Back down.
Aren't you the guy who made a whole video on how to count in binary?
Yeah, just because I made a video on it doesn't mean I'm good at it. Especially after midnight. Once the clock rolls past midnight, like all bets are off. Yeah, this one looks the same as the previous one too. I'm betting we got a bunch of 0 tracks in here.
Yeah, we're lucky we got Reese here. He's midday.
Yeah.
It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here.
Yeah. Yeah, Nuki Nuki, the LGP21 is indeed the oldest machine in the room right now because the G15 is on the other side of the wall.
It is older than the Data 620.
Oh, yeah, by 2 years. 65 to 63. And it's like in those 2 years, you look at the aesthetics of them and you're like, what happened, man? Because the LGP21 is beautiful. And the 620 is just like a gray slab. Kind of ugly.
Odd enough, the Data 620 is already core memory. And the Lattes go, I'll just use an old drum memory. Why not?
Core was expensive, man.
Yeah.
Like, drums were cheap. At this point in time, at least, mid 60s.
Not only that, drum gives you so much. It's like,
How much what?
The debugging your Nova 1200 was fun. But yeah, I know exactly how you felt, where it was like all the numbers kind of blur into a single thing in your brain, and yeah, all bets are off when you're sleepy. And right now, Mom and Dad are up in Pittsburgh, so the dog is sleeping on our bed. So I haven't had a good night's sleep in a long time. They didn't take the dog with them, so we're taking care of the dog. All right, what am I up to? Track 27? 8D.
80.
So we're already at 8D. There's 80. 8D.
Glad it's not crazy like data line memory. I mean, they do have a scratch pad that is self-erasing itself, but at least it's not like the G15 where everything's just a huge scratch pad.
Oh, the G15's great though, because you can probe a track, and if you can fill a track with something and probe it, and if you don't see that data looping on the track, then you've got a read amp or a write amp failure. And then if you do see the data looping on the track, it does all that automatically. And so if you wanted to rip whatever data was on that track off, all you need is T0, which is like an index pulse, and then the track itself, and then you just get your 108 words based on T0. It's fantastic. The thing is that it's because they treat it like a delay line. There's never anything to rip off of the drum that you didn't already put on there, so there was never any need to pull anything off of the drum.
Yeah, that one uses the drum as memory, but also as hard drive, like cold storage.
Oh, this guy, the Litton? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
that was
they
more
got some
typical of to use the drum as cold storage rather than as a delay line. The G15, I think, is pretty unusual in using it the way it does.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had to stuff like a full-on permanent erase magnet in there. Let's see, we're on 28, which bumps us up to 8E.
1110.
Yeah, so I got to reset now. 00.
Yeah, this one had the fun idea of let's just multiplex our read heads just to save on amplifiers. Yay!
Yeah, minimum viable product again.
So 8E00, 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 8E. We'll go ahead and hit run on that. Take a single shot on this one. Press to save.
Just 3 tracks to go. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going pretty quick, actually.
And after that, you won't have any excuses that it's somewhere else.
Yeah, now I have to find it.
Nuku Nuki, my favorite thing about how the G15 implements its short lines is that it stuffs them in the dead space between the permanent erase magnet and the right head for the long line. So it uses the same
really
physical spot
clever.
on the drum. Yeah, it's absolutely wild, bonkers what they were doing.
I mean, they're essentially splitting the drum in a long and short. I mean, I'm pretty sure they didn't put the reed head next to the magnet and goes, can I fit something in there? They put space for the short line, but they had to decide how much.
What's up, Delamorte? Welcome. Thank you for getting us to our follower goal. Jesus, we're up to 50 people? Good Lord. That's awesome.
It's like the amount of people that are following you on Twitch is higher than the workshop YouTube channel where you're archiving these.
I haven't really announced the workshop channel, though. And I force all of you guys on Discord to watch on Twitch, so that kind of inflated my Twitch numbers right off the bat. It's a nice little dirty trick that I pulled.
We fell for it. Oh, darn. How could I ever foreseen this?
The 8E80.
You know what's hilarious? I think it's Thordrake posted the video from the G15 to the G15 channel, and I was like, hey, new channel. Follow.
Oh, yeah.
So you had a huge jump in your workshop YouTube.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like it's already chasing its way down to like 100 subscribers or something like that, which is crazy.
I think somebody pushed
is
like
a
100 or
weird-looking one.
101 recently.
A weird looking one? Like, how's weird?
Like it's got a sine wave hiding out in the middle of it.
Huh. I'd be interested to see what's on that track then.
Yeah, this is track
What is
29.
20?
Either that or we're not fully selected.
Yeah, here, I'll
Maybe
put
it's
a
a
picture of it up.
I mean, that would be hilarious. I mean, if we...
I think it's just a collection. We're just seeing data fall
Maybe it's
into
a table
pattern.
of sine and cos values or something, or something like that.
Or,
yeah.
I mean, it might just be a... Yeah, that's like artifacty.
Yeah, I think it's just... I think it's the human brain looking for a pattern where there isn't necessarily one.
That's
kind of a
why
Moira pattern.
aliasing. That's why aliasing bites on older scopes.
Yeah, but this is the first track that's looked different in like the last 10 tracks. Dude, wild. Workshop is up to 130 subscribers. That's awesome. Heck yeah. Also, Pingy, what's up? Pingy sway, Pingy sway, Pingy swee. I don't know. I love trying to read people's names because I'm going to butcher every single one. All right, let's go back to run. Let's halt you. We're up to track 30 now.
Yep.
30 is 8F00. F 0, 8F 0, 8F. Check that one again. 8F 00, 8F 00, 8F 00. Run, single shot, press to save.
So this is a track I'm pretty sure is all zeros.
It certainly looks like the other tracks that we were just running through, so it wouldn't surprise me if this one was all zeros.
All zeros are all ones and zeros. It's very hard to see because a zero is just a zero or one is just an offsetted, like, extra lump on top of a pulse.
Well, it's just FM, right? So you've got a clock pulse all the time, right? So it's just a question of whether you've got another pulse in between or not.
It's just that they have, they need to put down something that's AC-like, so they can't just put straight DC. So that's why they're just oscillating, but half of those oscillations don't even co-align with T1. Z1, sorry. Z1. And only if it's aligned on the falling edge of Z1 is it actually a bit that we want to read. Which is, it's like, is that even FM? It's not using the FM part as timing. It's just oscillating and glitching out at the right spot for a 0 or 1.
So Hecubus, Usagi Workshop is a stream archive channel, but I've got a couple extra things that I want to upload there. Anything that's like long with minimal editing, I kind of want to put on the Usagi Workshop channel. So I've got the full interview that I did with Bill about how he programmed Doom. That in like 10 minutes of that interview ended up in the video, but the interview was actually like an hour long. The same with Allison when I talked to her about CERN stuff. Again, I got like 45 minutes with her, but only about 5 minutes made it into the actual video. So I would like to someday when I have, that spare time thing, I would like to slice those up into something a little kind of more coherent than the disparate way that it was recorded, and then upload that onto Usagi Workshop. I keep saying I'd like to do things, and I generally do them, but it takes me about 6 months longer than I ever expected. So, there's that. All right, last one here is 8F80.
Yep.
So 8F80, 8F80, 8F0, run, single shot. That one definitely looks like it's got data on it.
Yeah. The track's only about half full on the last track, but it does have data.
Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, it looks like you've got about maybe a little over half of data and then nothing for the last half.
Geez, nothing for the first half.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You've got nothing for a little over half of the first half and then data in the last half. Either way. All right, I can now scroll. Yeah, and then I will zip these up and drop them into Discord.
Fantastic. And then I'm going to have a fun week pulling it all apart and getting it working.
Heck yeah, man. Thank you for working on it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get to the point where the emulator runs the code, and then we can actually start using it to write programs that you can run on or experiment with programs you can then run on the real thing once you get the IO going.
Yeah.
I have a small framework for the Arduino code, but it's very crude. But it should be able to give us input and output. It's like, for now, everything has to be hexadecimal. I should be putting it something that you could just type in, but trying to go fast here.
Oh, so it just dumps it. does it just dump everything in hex as well to the console port?
Yeah, well,
You're just not
it
going to read.
could
Come on now.
theoretically shoot out at 8 kilobytes per second, but that would be just putting read instructions to the output every single instruction, which I don't think happens. But we could have. I don't know how fast it dumps out things, so
We
I mean
did
it's
14 through 31 or 15 through 31?
That was 0 and 14 to 51. Sorry, to 31.
Okay.
51. Oh, jeez. More tracks.
Yeah, that would be a big drum.
I don't understand. There's a brochure that said that there's a machine that has 10x the amount of capacity of this one. It's like, where did you put all that extra address? There's literally no space.
It must have
It
had
must
some
have.
kind of bank switching or something on it.
Yeah.
Or was it just accessed as an I/O device rather than as memory?
Possibly.
I mean, how to? I don't.
Oh,
I really don't know. It just cost more.
Delamorte, you've got a TM990. That's awesome. The floppy controller you may have missed out on because I bought it. Although that was like a couple of months ago. That was maybe 1 or 2 months ago. But yeah, there was one on eBay and I purchased it.
There were floppy controllers for the TM990.
Yep. It has a it has a full TMS 9900 on it. It's just another computer.
What kind of software does it run?
Whatever you
like
want, whatever TMS 9900
well,
software you want, but there is some stuff for it. I think the one that I have has TI bug burned into the ROMs on it, which is kind of like a memory monitor.
So there isn't like a standard OS that uses the floppy controller at all?
There might be. I don't know. I have amassed the parts, but I haven't sat down and tried to figure out what I've got yet.
Yeah, I was wondering if it like, I guess maybe it was the same thing maybe it was something like TX990, like what you had on the smaller TI990s.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that I got a backplane for it from Stuart, who sells backplanes. He like reverse engineered and made a duplicate of the original backplane. And the floppy controller was the biggest thing that they had. Nobody ever made like a hard drive controller or anything for it.
I see the file on there now.
Yep, that should be it. A full 66 megabytes to cover not even 20 kilobytes.
Thanks, Usagi. I'll start putting it together and see if I can get the data out.
Yeah, take a look at that and make sure that take a brief look at it and make sure that at least it makes sense that I didn't mess something up in the capture here.
Sure. I'll let you know.
Yeah. I mean, we have files for like tracks 0 to 14 and 30, 31. So if like none of the bits align and we get completely different data, we're gonna ask some questions.
I was trying to see if I could catch what it was doing when I tell it to run Opus, but the timing's never going to get right.
You would see. Well, you would mostly see track 15 and 14.
Yeah. When it runs Opus, it does actually hit the output, if I remember what we were checking last time. But when we ran the bare bones Opus that we had running in the emulator earlier, it didn't actually type anything out. You had to type something. So I'm curious what it's actually, when I do a halt ready run, like what is it vomiting out?
It's
well, I can tell you.
It's essentially just talking.
Yeah, it's from what my disassembly of it. It starts off. It selects devices, like selects the keyboard and the printer. Then it prints a CRLF, and then it just goes into a loop waiting for you to put input in. That's what I've seen so far.
Yeah, if you see data, it's probably the selection bits.
So, or it's sending a carriage, or I'm seeing the carriage return in line feed, because that's also something, right?
If you can feed in, so like in your Arduino program, if you can make it like just type an N, then that will put it in decimal mode, and then that will cause it to print N and another CRLF. So that's a fairly innocuous command. So you can probably do something like that to get it to actually respond to you.
Oh, I meant to say something earlier, just so you know, when you're using the Arduino for things, if you are not using one of its physical serial ports, if you are using the USB serial emulation thing, whenever the provided USB stack is doing anything, it turns off interrupts and it doesn't tell you about it. So if you're using interrupts for anything, or any of the interrupt pins on like a Mega, they just stop working for no apparent reason, and it's extremely frustrating.
Interesting. But right now, I'm just tight looping slightly. Just, is the pin lifted? Because like an I/O cycle on the Litton is about like 40 microseconds. It's like, that's how long that's an instruction like partial cycle, and that's how long like pulses are going to be if they're like valid.
Nuku Nuki, it's not a V7 port, it's V6, and yeah, it's for. I don't think it runs on the TM990. It runs on like a TI 990 10 or 12. I think is what it requires. Like the bigger models of TI 990.
Well,
because I'm pretty sure it requires an MMU.
Not those anymore. Let's come over to
Yeah,
here.
Yeah, because that makes sense because look at the capabilities of what Unix required to run on the PDP.
There were versions that ran with no MMU, like there was LSX and Mini Unix. Well, I mean the very early versions didn't require an MMU at all. Like they just did. I think they would just they just did total swapping where where you could only have one process in memory at a time, and then to switch processes it would like just swap out the complete process to like a fixed head disk and then swap in the next one. That was, I think, what the PDP-7 Unix and like the first versions of PDP-11 Unix did.
Right, but yeah, by the time you're at a V6 or V7,
yeah, then they needed an MMU for sure. Unless it was like LSX and Mini Unix, which are like separate branches, kind of.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot on the TI 990 bench because that was one that we didn't have a separate school for. It was under contract to TI, and so they would come out and work on the bench itself. So I didn't dig into the TI 990 that much. I just ran the program to repair power supplies. The other benches I worked on, one was an Harris H100 based, which is pretty cool, and the other was based on an Intel Industrial Multibus 8286 system.
I'm trying to scoot the stream PC down a little bit, and I'm like afraid to touch it for fear that the stream will crash. Like physically touching the computer would cause it to crash. I'm going to try and get my other laptop up here so I can actually read the Twitch chat without having to squint.
You're working on the Arduino level converter board?
Yeah, little level shifter guy. I've got a outline here that I got to follow. I need to build 8 of those. I've already got one built. I've got the soldering iron warming up here. Should be moderately rapid now that we've figured out how to lay stuff out. And I should be able to fit exactly 8 of these things onto one of my little perf boards here.
So everyone who's talking other than Usagi, are you talking over Discord and I'm hearing you over Twitch, or are some of you actually talking over Twitch?
Over Discord and hearing over Twitch. It's impossible to talk, multiple people to talk over Twitch without me doing some crazy setup stuff.
Okay, yeah, I thought so, but then I switched to Twitch audio because the latency between watching your mouth move and what you do and Discord was like 20 seconds.
yeah. Twitch is a little slow. The video is definitely behind schedule, so it takes a little bit of brain power to like deal with that delay. Yeah. Oh my god, it's already 12:40. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Well, when I arrive, it's got to be late. That's
right?
your first clue. When AJ, it's like, well, it's getting late. AJ's here.
AJ showed up. This is rough. All right, so you're on board to go get that bad idea of mine, right?
Did you acquire that bad idea of yours?
No, so I sent the dude a message. We'll see. We'll discover this together. He just replied. This guy apparently has a schedule similar to you because he doesn't reply to me until like 2 a.m.
Well, then it's going to work out. So yes, of course I'm on board.
All right. So he says he's got some wiggle room on the price, which means he's probably not going to go as low as I want him to. And then he said,
well,
what stays your friend in? I drive around quite a bit, so I might be able to meet somewhere closer to them and save them some time.
Well, that's a nice thought, but you get your best price. I don't care, if I'm driving, halfway there or all the way there.
Yeah, well, my best price would have been half of what he was asking, so I'm pretty sure that some wiggle room is not half.
You're the only buyer for this. You have to be.
I know. I can't imagine. And I've seen this thing come up for sale multiple times. For people that are wondering, it's an NCR Computronic or something like that. It's a vacuum tube accounting machine from Once Upon a Time.
When I first saw it, I thought it was like a typesetting machine. It resembled that form factor, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, it's right up my alley and nobody else. So I can't imagine.
You're the only buyer.
I can't imagine this guy has people beating down the door.
Whittle him down. Whittle him down. I'll pick it up.
I'll be as honest as I can with him. I think half of his asking price is a little insulting.
If he mentions seeing anybody else active on it, that was me saving it so I can send it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So what is plugboard programmed?
I have no idea. I know very little about this machine.
Probably. Yeah, presumably I would guess it's probably plugboard programmed.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's there's not a lot of documentation out there about it. There's not a lot of like brochures or anything out there. Like it's a Centurion Part 2 kind of, only from the 60s.
You have an amazing ability to have people come out of the woodwork with knowledge on every project you work on. So I do not doubt that will happen here.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, it would be cool. And like, I can afford it. Like, you know, the YouTube channel's doing all right. So, and it's not just like me buying something random. I would, from a monetary standpoint, I will get money back out of this thing because I'll be making videos on it. So I can afford his asking price. It's a lot for something that's in very, very rough shape.
Yeah, that's a barn find. I don't know, maybe a little worse for wear than a barn find.
Yeah,
Do you think it's all there?
Rough. So he posted some updated pictures, and the tubes are all still in it. And it's hard to tell from the one brochure that I found. It looked like they had some kind of external front panel thing with like some lights on it or something. And that's not in the picture in his auction, but I don't think that's like a necessary thing for it to work. I think you do pretty much all of your interaction with the machine through the pretty wild looking terminal. So the terminal's there and the main box is there. So I think enough of it is there for it to be for the machine to work. Yeah, just maybe like missing a peripheral or something.
Fairly common attitude that comes up with unusual things like this is, you have one person on the planet that can use the thing, another person on the planet that has the thing and wants to sell it. And they say, well, since you must get it from me, you're going to pay through the nose.
That's that dude that's like a perfect explanation of that dude that's got the FPS AP120B on eBay. I've complained about that guy a lot in the past, but effectively I bought the FPS 3000, which was listed for like 15 grand. And I there was no way I was going to pay 15 grand. So I threw out a lowball offer of $1,000 and the dude took it. And so but the guy that had the AP120B just saw that this thing that was listed for $15,000 sold. And so he listed his AP120B for $15,000. And so I sent him a message and I was like, hey, I'm like super interested in this, but all I can afford is about $1,000. But I'm curious why you're listing it for 15 grand. That seems like a crazy amount. And he was like, well, I just saw one sell for 15 grand and this one's in better shape. And I was like, the one that you saw sell for 15 grand is the one that I bought and I got it for $1,000. And I sent him screenshots and everything. And I was like, they took this lowest offer. And he was like, well, I still think I can sell it for $15,000. So stop talking to me. And I was like, I'm your only customer, man. And sure enough, he's dropped the price to $10,000 and it's still just sitting there on eBay. And it's just going to continue to sit there until either he unlists it or the price gets low enough for me to buy it.
Now he sounds like the spiteful type that'll destroy it just because.
Probably. That's his loss. The thing is at this point, we know of several AP120Bs out there. That's not the last one that we'll ever find. But he's definitely the spiteful type because every time he was hyper confident about something, Coley sent him some messages too, and Coley was a little more aggressive than I was, which is great. And every time he would claim something, he's like, this computer was used at NASA on this type of machine. And we looked at the card layout and we're like, no, it wasn't actually, my man. It was used on this kind of mainframe, which was not at NASA. So I don't know where you got that claim at. And he didn't respond and stuff. So his his listing is full of inaccuracies, and he's unwilling to listen to the people that are correcting those inaccuracies, which is, just because he's in the business of selling stuff. He's like he's a recycler or something, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're telling him he's not got a gold mine, so why should he listen to you? There was a guy in Texas that came across an IBM System 34 and 4 of the terminals. So immediately the Desk Authority people found out, and somebody made a deal and bought all 4 keyboards for like $10,000 each because, oh my God,
Jesus.
Beam.
Yeah.
Then the guy says, well, if the keyboards are each worth $10,000, then the keyboardless terminals are worth $25,000 each, and the computer is worth $100,000.
That's not how it works.
Yeah. And of course, none of that stuff ever sold.
No, he eventually destroyed it and posted a nasty message on I think the VCF for some Facebook group about these people who were spreading rumors behind his back so nobody would buy his IBM mainframe and so on and so forth. And he lost all these money or all this $100,000 because of these kids spreading lies.
That sounds about right. I didn't get the ludicrous money I was asking, and so it's your fault. Yeah, I have money's a weird thing, man. Like, it's a good way to like destroy friendships and whatnot. And I always try to avoid getting money involved in stuff. But eBay people are not afraid to be extremely proud of whatever they've got listed. Somebody had a model 26 teletype listed on eBay. I just saw it today. I sent it to my buddy John. And the dude wants like 10 grand for it. Like, I've never seen a teletype trade hands for $10,000. Like, that's insane.
Well, okay. I mean, a 33 ASR new in box, I have seen sell for $5,000 legitimately, and I think that was a legitimate price. But it was literally new in crate, not box, but new in crate.
Yeah, this one is not new. It's old. It's missing parts. It's like a barn find type thing. It's rough.
How the tides change.
Yep. Yeah, we could sit here and talk about like ludicrous eBay listings all day, right? Delamorte, I have not heard of a Fujitsu Micro 16S. Usually by the time you're in the era of 8086 and Z80 stuff, you're just a little too new for me, for my knowledge. So that's an unknown one for me. Yeah, it's Little Miss Murder. It's funny that you mentioned that. We went to Myanmar for a job once, and we had a funny story with like the local currency. So we had to trade over some some cash for the local currency, and they wouldn't take yen. My buddy and I were both living in Japan at the time, so they wouldn't take yen there, which was like, okay, whatever, they don't take yen, that's fine. and he had brought some US dollars, and they, you know, the local place would take the US dollars just to change them over. But and I had some US dollars as well. I took some US dollars with me too. And we got there and we tried to like exchange our US dollars, and they just like flat wouldn't do it. And we were like super confused. We were like, why you say you take US dollars? And like, she held my bill out to me and she's like, you see how there's this slight ink blot in this corner on this, US dollar bill? She's like, that is unacceptable. And I'm like, holy cow. And I was like, well, what about, this $100 bill? And she was like, this one has a crease in the left side. And we're like, geez, you guys are sticklers. All right. Like, where do we go from here? And, my buddy thankfully had some bills that were like fresh from the bank that he managed to convince them to change over. And so I borrowed some of his bills, and, we changed stuff around. I paid him back. And we managed to cobble together enough $100 bills to, convince them to change it over. And they came back with, I swear, just a wad of like wet, dirty, like pulled out of the garbage can local currency. And they were just like, here you go. And we were like trying to like straighten these bills out so they could at least fit in our wallet. It was just like, they were such sticklers on the US dollars, had to be perfect, had to be brand new, had not have any blemishes whatsoever. And then they were just like, here you go. Here's what you get in return. I was like, oh, this is gross. Myanmar was an interesting place. It's the one of only 2 places I've been where our car got scanned for bombs. That was an interesting experience, to have the dog like sniffing around it with the mirror that goes underneath the bottom. And also,
that me every time I drive through Mexico.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Mexico, so that was a new experience for me. The Myanmar was also like there. I've been to like 15 countries, and there's only 2 countries in the entire world where I've seen people just standing around with like full on M16s or like assault rifles hanging off of their chest. One was Myanmar and the other one is LA. Only 2 places I've been in the world where like people are just like brandishing full on assault weaponry. So there you go. LA is equivalent to Myanmar.
We had it everywhere in the few months after 9/11. I remember getting on. I was doing a lot of traveling at the time, and just even at the local airport, MacArthur, getting on planes, and they had National Guardsmen there. We don't know if they were loaded or not, but they were at the ready.
Yeah, I've seen it at DFW airport 1 or 2 times at immigration. Only on international travel in. And the guy's not just standing there. He's like, this dude's in full battle rattle. And I only caught him like once or twice as he was walking around to talk to do something or whatnot. But it's like, do we really need a dude in full battle rattle? Like this seems slight overkill for, a bunch of tourists coming in from Japan. But I bet you he sure felt cool in his full battle rattle.
They brought a dog through the office one time when I was working civil service, and I was talking to him, and I was like, well, hopefully the dog won't find anything. And he says, if the dog finds something, I'm running. Because it was the bomb dog, not the drug dog. But then the dog starts really getting interested in the trash can. And it turns out that this was when McDonald's was doing the 29-cent cheeseburgers. And the handlers had been sneaking cheeseburgers to the dogs. So if there was any McDonald's wrappers in the trash at all, the dogs were like right there.
Dog knew what was up.
Yeah.
I had that happen to me once in high school. They were running the drug dog around, and it alerted at my locker, which was close to the door. And the school liaison officer knew me very well, and so he called me out of class, and he said, "Hey, who would stash? Does anybody else have your locker combination, or you know, do you know somebody that would plant something on you?" And I'm like, "Not really, no." And he's like, "Well, the drug dog alerted on your locker. We're gonna have to search it." I said, "There's nothing in there but my lunch." And the handler heard it, and he looked at the other handler and he said, "You fed the dog, right?" And the other handler said, "I thought you fed the dog."
A dog was getting his lunch one way or the other, man.
Oh yeah, so I gave him half my ham sandwich. I mean, it was, you know, I wasn't gonna make a stink about it.
I was in 7th grade in Rexburg, Idaho, and they brought the drug dog in for a demonstration in class, and it alerted on 2 other students than the one that had been handed the simulant.
All right.
Whoops. So that caused the principal to decide to search the school, and it alerted on my locker. But the thing is, we shared lockers. They didn't have enough lockers for all the students. So my locker mate in his half of the locker had a brown paper bag with tinfoil wrapped marijuana in it. And they were all like, "Oh, but he's a bishop's kid. He's a good kid. That must be yours." And he came out and openly admitted, "No, it's mine."
Oh, thank
So-
God he did.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Well-
at least he openly admitted it. That could have gone very poorly.
Well, and the thing you have to remember about Rexburg, Idaho, is it is an extremely Mormon community, and I am not a Mormon. So that was a little bit of religious discrimination. That fortunately he was a good guy and he owned up to it.
Religious discrimination? That happens? No way.
I had in that time, I was only in Rexburg for 4 months, but in that time, I had 3 friends out of a class in 7th grade that was about 110 students.
Okay. I mean, I didn't really have any
So-
friends in high school, so you were doing better than
Well-
I was.
Well, maybe I should say I had 3 acquaintances and 1 friend. That would be more accurate.
There we go.
So, yeah, it was rough. But
I was my freshman year in high school. My brother was a senior. My mom worked part-time for the school, and I got cast as the lead in the one-act play. So you can imagine that life was quite difficult for me. Because I was a freshman, I had this lead part. My brother was on tech theater, so he was a senior and he was there all the time. And my mom was trying her hardest not to make things worse for me, but it didn't matter because it was high school. My freshman year was not a pleasant year.
no, fortunately, we moved from Rexburg to Grable, Wyoming, where Hawkins and Powers Aviation was based. It was an aerial firefighting company. My dad worked for as an A&P mechanic. And since I got there in 7th grade, high school was pretty decent for me there. Really good education for a small town. I mean, my graduating class was 38 in high school.
Okay.
So it was a small school, but
It was a very small school, yeah.
Yeah, but I still, took calculus my senior year, and had taken physics and geology and botany, and there's a whole bunch of things going on there, typing and word processing, and It was pretty good, but the big thing is by our senior year, everybody was pretty much friends except for one kid who we had a kegger out on the BLM land. It was a 4-wheel drive kegger. You could only get there if you had a 4-wheel drive vehicle, and he had an old early 1970s Suburban that was 2-wheel drive, and he couldn't make it out there. So he came back into town into the convenience store and started griping up a storm about how he couldn't get out to where we had the kegger. And there was a sheriff's deputy sitting there. So he ratted on the kegger, and everybody didn't like him after that.
I can imagine. Hecubus, I was in one musical. So I got the lead role my freshman year in the one-act play, which was Outsiders. And I got the lead role because I looked like Ponyboy, not because I could act or knew what I was doing. And then I was like, of course, that like inflated my ego. I mean, my freshman year was tough anyways, but like, I was like, at least I was good enough to get the lead. And they needed somebody that like went through puberty a little late, and that was me. So I didn't realize it, but that was it. And so the next year I tried out for the play, and I got just like the supporting role dude in the background that, you know, might as well not even exist. They didn't even need me there. And that was a musical, and I hated it. And then that was it. I was never in drama again after that.
Which musical was it?
It was the one where they got like the 9,000 mattresses, and like if you can feel a pee under the mattress, then I'll be your bride or something like that. And they end up putting a bunch of stuff under like the 9 mattresses or something. It's like a famous
Princess and the Pea. I don't know. Yeah, I know the story. I didn't know it was musical.
Yeah, well, the one we did in high school was a musical. That doesn't mean it was supposed to be a musical, but
I did the tech theater thing. That was fun.
Like a famous
Princess and the Pea. I don't know. Yeah, I know the. Uh-oh.
It sounded like we had a bit of an echo going on there.
That was me. Sorry.
You're fired.
Yes.
We
Speaking
always
of the
had-
bombs. I'm sorry, you go.
Well, we always had like what was it, a fall musical and a spring drama at the school. I was the videographer, I suppose I would say. I made sure we got good audio capture and as good a quality of a VHS tape as we could get to make copies for people. But we did things like Go Ask Alice, which they wouldn't do anymore. It's got a lot of suicide and drugs in it. And
I mean, so did Outsiders, to be fair.
Well, true. And for one of the musicals, they did 7 Brides for 7 Brothers, and of course that was a problem getting enough male leads because you got to have 7 male leads.
Yeah.
For that one, that was fun because there were some stage directions in it that they wouldn't allow us to do, because you know, like Millie slams the table with a broom and that can cause, you know, plates to go flying. But the last night performance, the guy that was playing Millie hit the table with the broom and hit a plate just right, and it launched a biscuit into the audience.
Nice.
So, and that is the cut that was used in the final videotape. So, because I did the editing and the titling and everything. Does anybody remember a program for the Apple II called VCR Companion?
It sounds familiar.
I imagine we use it.
It was a smooth scrolling title generator for the Apple II, Apple IIe, which of course had composite video out, so you could just record it directly to videotape.
Did that work with the overlay card if you had it?
It did, but we didn't have one. Would have been nice.
I only know one school that had it back in the day.
Yeah, we had Apple II GSs. We didn't have any video overlay card equipped GSs or 2Es.
We when we were doing The Outsiders, there was a scene where Ponyboy's older brother, Daryl, is supposed to punch him, hit him in the face or something like that, because, you know, Ponyboy's being a right jackass. And so we're rehearsing this scene over and over again. And we had initially started with, he was going to throw, and the guy that was playing my older brother was huge. He was like a big dude. He got cast because he was big. And we rehearsed the scene initially with him throwing a real punch and me dodging it. You know, so he would, like they do in movies, right? You know, throw the punch, but throw it about a foot away from my face, and I would dodge it and make the action like I got hit. And the director, she decided to change it, and she was like, okay, that, you know, it's really obvious that it's a fake punch. So let's slap him in the face instead. Go open hand, hit him in the face, and don't put a whole lot of power into it. But I was like, first of all, not keen on getting slapped in the face. But also, we'd done all of our practice with me dodging it, right? And so the next, the next 20 minutes that we tried to run this scene, I kept dodging it. And it just kept looking bad and worse and worse. And I was getting frustrated. He was getting frustrated. The director was real frustrated. And finally, I was like, internally, I was like, I am not going to dodge. I am going to stand here as stock still as possible. Consequences be damned. I'm not doing anything, right? And it just so happened that was when he decided, well, if he's going to dodge, I'm going to throw a realistic looking punch anyways. And so I steeled myself, refused to move, and this huge dude went full closed fist and just decked me square in the face, as like knocked me down onto the ground, hit me hard. And the director was like, brilliant, do that every time. And I was like, he chipped a tooth, please no. But that was, I got punched in the actual face. And it legitimately chipped a tooth. I had to dig the bone fragment out of my cheek. Like, he hit me hard.
Ow. That's like the Jackie Chan story where he thought he broke his hand, but no, it was the guy's tooth.
Oh, jeez. I don't know that one. But again, if it's a Jackie Chan movie, there's something broken in it.
Well, no, it was it was when he was a bouncer. It was actually like actual combat. You know, those
doing real work. All right.
Yeah. Before he was famous.
I could not imagine Jackie Chan as a bouncer. He's way too nice. With celebrities like Jackie Chan, we always try to give them a personality that they possibly don't have, right? Jackie Chan always seems like this super nice dude, and he probably is a really nice guy, but he's also still just a human who has good days and bad days and gets in fights with people and, you know, has arguments and makes poor decisions on the occasion. He's still just a human being at the end of the day. Yeah, see if I can.
Which is why it's always nice when you hear about some of these celebrities that actually are honestly nice, and you don't really hear any bad stories from them.
It's like Keanu Reeves, man.
Oh, sad Keanu.
He's a sad Keanu. Yeah, but he's the best of us, man. It's like, I saw a thing everybody's trying to. I don't get it. Whenever somebody's a genuinely nice guy, there's always somebody tries to tear it down. So somebody posted a video of Keanu, and it looked like he was having difficulty walking, and they were like, Keanu looks so old, he can't walk straight. And then you looked at all the comments, and they're like,
The dude's over 60 and he's been getting the crap beat out of him for like 10 years making John Wick movies. Cut him some slack.
I think the craziest Keanu Reeves fact that I saw was the fact that he was babysat by Alice Cooper as a child.
Yeah.
Because his mother was a costume designer, and that's how she knew Alice Cooper. So he spent a day in the studio with Alice Cooper babysitting him as his mom was working in Toronto.
Yeah, the dude is
Alice Cooper knows everybody.
Alice Cooper's best friend was Glenn Campbell, and they played golf together. And Alice Cooper is such a good golfer, he could play on the PGA Senior Tour.
Just look at what I attached in the chat. And that's real. Alice Cooper and I forget the actress's name that played Edith Bunker. That's a real picture. I think she was in one of the shows. She was, because obviously she was younger than the character.
That's Gene Stapleton.
Thank you. Yes.
My grandfather was a huge fan of All in the Family. So we watched it as it was still in first run when I was a kid.
And remember, he was only Archie Bunker. The character was only supposed to be 47.
I know. The crazy part was also Archie was not supposed to be the character that people sympathized with or thought was a good guy.
Well, when the show started, it was true.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be Rob Reiner's character because he wrote it and produced it, but didn't work out that way.
And he adapted though.
It was such a big hit they couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like how MASH evolved from a pretty straight comedy in its first season into a lot more drama as it went along.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you compare it to the movie.
MASH got hard to watch, man. It was just really sad. Of course, I haven't watched MASH since I was like a kid, but when it was actually still playing on TV. Reruns were playing on TV, I should say.
I have my Alexa programmed to say at 10 o'clock, it says, it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? Because that was always right before MASH came on.
Yeah. I think
Gen X, our parents had to be reminded that they had children.
Yes.
When I was around 8 years old.
It's true.
My parents got HBO for the first time. And my brother and I stayed up late watching HBO a couple times. And I saw there were two things that stuck with me, both horror films. One of them was called Devil's Reign. And I think it had William Shatner in it. And there's a special effect where people are melting in the rain. It's a wax effect, almost like Indiana Jones, but in Raiders of the Lost Ark. But it's much scarier. That creeped me out. The other one that still scares me to this day is Alien.
Oof. Yeah, Alien's a tough one, man.
That movie, I've seen it probably a dozen times, and it scares me every time I watch it.
Like
I saw that first when I was 11. It gave me nightmares.
Yeah, I can imagine. It gives me nightmares today. Like if Aliens, the second movie is on, I'll sit down and watch it. If Alien, the first one is on, I will not sit down and watch it.
It's an excellent film, and the story, the pacing, the plot, the special effects, it's Ridley Scott at his best, but holy hell, is it scary.
Yeah.
I saw Poltergeist as a kid, and that scared me. But then I saw it again as an adult, and it just makes me laugh. That's like, I don't know if any of you remember in the 90s.
Yeah,
in the 1990s, they did a theatrical re-release of The Exorcist. It was like in the late 90s. And my buddy and I got drunk and decided to go see it. And it was just the funniest movie I'd ever seen when I was drunk.
And I watched Predator when I was a kid, and it scared me. But then as I got older, it became like my all-time favorite movie. I think I've seen Predator more than I've seen any other movie. Like you could put Predator on right now, and I would sit down and watch the whole thing. It's like it's the movie that speaks to me. Super poignant. It's just, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger with like the air arm wrestle and
I'm here, do it now.
That's right.
You know, it was actually, it was for that genre of, you know, an 80s military action movie. It's one of the better ones, for sure.
It's great.
The one that always gets me anytime it comes on, that I just finish watching it, and I can't watch any of the other movies in the rest of the series, is First Blood. First Blood is an excellent movie. The Rambo sequels are crap.
I watched First Blood, but I don't think I ever saw any of the sequels.
Oh, Rambo, First Blood Part 2.
Yeah, I know, right? Sounds like I earned a medal for that.
Yeah. And the acting and the story are so well done in First Blood. And the others are just generic action movies. I do have a tie to another Stallone movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger tricked him into making.
That's the what is that? My grandma bought it. I forgot what the name of it was.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one. And in that movie, there's a scene where there is a C-119 or a C-89 flying boxcar. Can't remember which one it was. I think it's a 119 that actually belonged to Hawkins and Powers. And that summer, I was in high school. I was working up at H&P, and I had to clean that plane before they flew it to Hollywood to film that sequence where the truck crashes into the propeller and keeps the plane from taking off.
Okay.
And so that's my little adjacent tie to it. The other one is the movie Always. I helped prep the C-119 boxcar that was used in the firefighting, the training base segment of it, where they were all the different planes trying to drop slurry on a 55-gallon drum that was on fire.
Oh, yeah. That was a great movie.
Yeah, and, you know, having grew up kind of in that industry, because, you know, my dad worked there, and I mixed slurry one summer for the Yellowstone fires. That sucked. Because, I mean, I made a lot of money in overtime. I was like 16 and 16, 17. And, you know, mixing firefighting slurry it's a wet, hot, sticky job that I was working like 10-hour days for 6 days a week. So I was working like 60 hours a week as a high school student in the summer.
All right, we've made some progress. I got 2 more resistors to solder in, and then a bunch of connectors. But given that it's 1:30, that's not happening tonight. It would have finished tonight if we hadn't been hyper distracted. But we're getting close. That's starting to come together.
Just finished dumping all the drum, and the Opus code is doing more than it was doing last week. So we got a lot more.
Oh, excellent. So we're making good progress.
It hasn't crashed yet, but I don't quite understand how to use some of these commands, so I need to go read the manual to see how to use them.
Yeah, I pressed W command and it always crashed on entering the pound sign, and it's like it didn't crash. What now? I don't remember.
I'll upload the drum image and then I'll take a good look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, I still have some like weird duplicates. I'm not using the same code you are for like level detection, but it's like we're seeing slightly different images sometimes. But yeah, we got some valid data where there wasn't before.
That's good.
So I think we will get a lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, with all the instances of the tracks we have right now, pretty sure we should have Opus. And if it's still doing something odd, it's our emulation.
Yeah. So I just posted the drum image and I'll take a bigger look at it tomorrow because I need food right now.
Yeah,
and
getting
I need
close to
sleep.
5 on your parts.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Reese. We will dig through that over the weekend, or at least I'll try to get the emulator up and running again over the weekend, and because I want to dig through it as well and see what Opus does. But that's good that it's making some semblance of sense.
Yeah. You haven't run the Lytton emulator with just Lytton, not Lytton-run.
Yeah, give the GUI one a go because it looks cool.
Oh, you've got a GUI one.
Yeah, so if you just run the Lytton command rather than Lytton-run, then it will pop up a user interface and off you go.
Okay, I'll have to give that a shot.
Yeah. The only problem is if you're running it on Windows, you're gonna need to install an X server because it's for Linux.
Yeah, I've got I got Windows Subsystem for Linux, the Windows Subsystem for Linux, so I can run like a real Ubuntu environment within Windows.
Isn't that what you were using, Roy?
Are you using WSL 1 or 2?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm using 1, so I don't have the GUI. It doesn't do it automatically.
Oh, is WSL 1 still supported? I didn't even realize it was.
Well, I had to. It just said I had no X server available. It's like, okay, how do I not have that problem? And I just downloaded an X server for Windows. It just worked.
All right. I'm going to head off. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much. I'm glad we got those off and we didn't get fully distracted by the spectrometer here, which is still on, by the way.
Yeah, just don't forget to turn it off.
Yep, that's what I'm doing right now. The laser is on still, so that's good news. The laser is starting to become a little more consistent. So we will power you down. If I can figure out the wiring issue, we can get the mirror moving, and then we can get a lot of this thing up and going.
Yeah,
mirror's
not going to move without power.
Yeah, and I don't know where that power's coming from and where it's supposed to go. I need to sit down and really spend some time with the multimeter and start tracing out the actual wiring of the plug, because either we've got a fault on the backplane or the power's coming from a different place that the manual doesn't align with. Yeah. But I got to finish editing the video tomorrow, then film any extra B-roll that I have, and then upload it, make a thumbnail, do all that stuff. And then I got to climb upstairs and start pulling out all the spare parts and pieces that I need to take with me to Maryland to work on the Bendix G15 up there. And it's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah. Not going to be much of a video for the for the next week after that.
How long are you there?
Just 3 days. We fly in, eat some dinner, work a full day on Tuesday, like first thing in the morning until they kick us out at night, and then fly back on Wednesday. It's just going to be me, Lloyd, Bob, my buddy John, because he's going to help us work on the typewriter, and that's it. So I need to. When they sent that G15 down, they sent a box of like spare packs. I need to go through and I'm going to split those in half and send half with that machine and keep half here for the other machine. And then I also need to go through all the spare tubes that I've got and split those up. So that way we've got spare tubes to take with us. I'm going to take the diode tester with us. I bought a little portable oscilloscope, a little battery powered portable oscilloscope. That's going to go with us. So I'm essentially building like a field repair kit for a Bendix G15, which is kind of fun. But yeah, that's all got to happen between before Monday, because I leave here at 4 a.m. on Monday morning. So I've got to, and I'm only like slightly over halfway through the edit on this Bowman video. I'm very behind schedule. Tomorrow's going to be a long day.
Not going to be easy to squish another video on next week.
Oh, next week's going to be a video on the G15, get it going at System Source. So I'm filming the flight there. Well, I already filmed the loading it up, and I filmed an intro, and then I'm going to film flying up there and working on it and getting it going, what it took to get it up and going. And then when we come back, I'm going to film with the new machine, like just a walk around with the new machine.
Yeah, that's way more intelligent than trying to squeeze a homebrew video.
Oh yeah. So I'm swapping those two. So
no worries.
Yeah, normally it would be a homebrew and then a pre-1970s video, but now I'm going to do the pre-1970s video on the G15 first, and then I'll do the homebrew, and then we'll be back into 80s, which would be the 1144, and then onto the Bowman after that. So still sticking with the schedule, but just interposing two of them because that was just how the plane flights worked out.
Yeah. More intelligent than trying to squeeze something where it shouldn't go.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to call it a night here. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll catch you next week, hopefully, if I'm not too tired from flying back from Maryland. All right, guys. Good night.
Good night. See you around.